This show is intended for adult audiences. You know, people with bills, backaches, responsibilities, and a functioning sense of humor. It contains strong language, stronger opinions, and the kind of jokes that might send the emotionally fragile into a full-blown meltdown. If you're easily offended, perpetually outraged, or think words are violence, this is your cue to clutch your pearls, grab a blankie, and sprint to your nearest safe space. Or, you know, just get in the sea. We won't miss you. For everyone else, buckle up and let's have some laughs.
Rated D for dickhead.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body?
I'm gonna come.
Nice tits.
A real set of badonkers. Packing some Doban Hunkeros.
The power of one. The power of two. The power of men.
What's going down, babes? Show me the lovin'.
Silence! You are too gay to be the doctor.
I'm wonderful, and I'm the most amazing person in the universe.
Exterminate!
These people are making a lot of money, print money, cash, money,
Well,
capitalism.
You're watching Will of the Fans. Let's fucking go.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Bad news.
Let's fucking
lightheaded
oh,
now.
that's disgusting. Yeah.
I'm sure I'm about to hear from somebody. Jesus Christ, John, my ears.
You destroyed my eardrums. Yeah,
Yep,
well,
yep.
that's why you shouldn't use. That's why you shouldn't do ear sex. Anyway, hello everybody in the chat, and welcome back to Will of the Fans once again. My name's Will. You know the drill. It's WTF Live, and it's Sunday, and I'm sick as a dog, coming down with a nice little fever that I can feel tingling its way up my back and across my fucking various lobes, trying to make me give up, but I will not give up because there is a show to do, a show that must go on. So here we fucking are. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. We're reviewing some Red Dwarf today. And because we had all the technical issues under the sun last week, we are destined now and honor bound to do 3 episodes if we can. I say honor bound, we'll try. We'll give it a go. We'll give it the old college try.
That's right.
This week, instead of John and Rhoda both having tech issues, I have physical issues.
That's right. It's the will of Will that we're dealing with today.
Yeah. Well, I have always been a stubborn bastard, so it's one of the reasons why I was convinced myself that it wasn't that arrogant to call yourself Will of the Fans. It's like, well, I'm a pretty tenacious motherfucker, so, you know. Anyway, there we go, guys. Appreciate you being here. It's Sunday. We're going to review some Red Dwarf. What's going on? John?
Actually, at the moment, not terribly too much. I felt like, yesterday I was like the pick of the litter, it seemed, here in the exploitation ghetto part of the internet, which is weird, because I haven't really been a guest on anybody's streams or anything like that for like the better part of the last year. And then yesterday, Scooby was celebrating her 50th stream of the podcast, and while I'm there in the midst of the show, I have people like, oh, John, can you do this? Can you show up for a thing? And it's like, I guess. So yeah, like I did a lot of streaming yesterday. Very impromptu.
It's not a bad reputation to have,
I guess
it's not a bad spot to have. My old man was always in hot demand. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's
a guy who could fill a spot because he was a prestigious and respected guitarist. But but when people are always calling you, that's no bad thing.
Well, see, that was the thing. It's like it hadn't been the case for a while, and then so I was just like, yeah, it's whatever, no big deal. But then all of a sudden, it's like now I think I don't know. It's an interesting thing because I kind of mentioned it before the show began. You get into these, you don't want to get labeled with a certain thing, right? And if you do, much like wrestling, it takes forever to switch gears and be seen as like a new character or a new gimmick or what the hell ever.
It's why the Jinder Mahal World Heavyweight Championship run didn't work.
Exactly.
Because they just pulled a fucking mid-card jobber out, went to India, decided, oh, this guy's Indian, even though he's Canadian. We're going to make him the champ, and nobody bought it.
Right. They didn't invest 3 to 6 months of actually kind of cultivating a thing. So, yeah, I guess people are actually of the opinion now that this guy knows what the fuck he's doing, and I am now the perennial... in case of emergency, break glass, ask this guy to come and fill time on your stream because you need someone.
That's not a bad reputation to have, though. Again,
I can't really complain.
That doesn't mean that you're like a last pick. It means that you're reliable.
No, I'm not complaining. It's just that's what's been going on. It's such a change of pace though recently, and then what we've got going now with the new Fallout Vault that we made for Thursday night reviews.
Right.
I think people are actually starting to kind of piece together. It's like, this guy, I think he might actually have some talent.
Capable.
Might actually know what the fuck he's doing. And he's just spending all of his time helping other people. Why doesn't he do anything for himself? Because I'm not too worried about it. I'll get to it in due course in time, But yeah, with that said, things are great. Let's fucking go. Right?
Let's fucking go indeed. And John, we appreciate you being here as well, man. I've long since appreciated having you on this show. The second you showed up, I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah,
he talks.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
He shows up and he talks. It's fucking useful. No dead air when John's around.
Right.
So that's good. That was my first impression. Actually,
Yeah.
it really was.
And
I
I
even
do
said
have
to
a
my dad,
tendency.
my dad was like, "Hey, that guy's pretty good." I was like, "Yeah, I know, right? He shows up and he talks."
Yeah. And I have a tendency to actually say things that kind of push the envelope, but still keep it within bounds. Because, that was the joke yesterday. Is like, Erwin doesn't have a filter. We all got to watch out for what Erwin's going to say. And he was actually pretty well tempered. And I'm just sitting there like, talking about President Beebe and all this kind of stuff. And everyone's like, what's up with John? Like, anyway. I digress.
F slur on Rhoda's channel like an absolute asshole, and I felt like a complete bastard for it the second I did. Fortunately, it was drowned out by everybody else talking, but there we go. Speaking of Rhoda, how are you doing with your growing channel? Thanks for having me on your stream the other day. Sorry I was late. I've been coming down with sickness.
Right. You accounted for yourself very well while you were there. You were very much worth having.
Thank you. A lot of people said that. I appreciate that.
I had a great time, and like the stream before that, we had Jay Viper on as well, and my channel just hit 300 subs. Sardoc, I think I'm telling you that right now. I can see you in chat.
Congratulations.
We've just hit 300, mate.
Congratulations to Rhoda on hitting 300 subs.
Well earned. Achievement unlocked, sir. Keep pushing forward.
Indeed. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. We've only got a few people watching at the moment, so do be a pal. Hit the like button. Tickle the love button till it, goes off in your face. And try to clean up afterwards. I don't like finding spooge on my chat. But then, of course, last but not least, share the stream. It really matters. Tweet it out. If you don't mind taking a few seconds to tweet it out, it really does big it up. And throw in a couple of relevant hashtags too, like I usually do. Sorry that I'm sick. I'm low energy as fuck. I'm pushing it. I'm faking it as much as I can right now so that we can have a good stream, have a good show, hit the goal, and put Red Dwarf 10 to bed so that next week we can kick off with Red Dwarf 11 and keep it nice and tidy like that. And then we've only got, 14 episodes left at that point. It's we are nearing the home stretch, and I was thinking, just for not for nothing, but we keep talking about, we're going to do this show next, we're going to do this show next. I'm thinking maybe we take a break for a couple of weeks and review a movie. Something.
I'm down for doing some quick hits and whatnot.
Just one shot, maybe something one of us hasn't seen before but should have seen.
This is right. This is right in line with what you're saying. I've never actually seen My Cousin Vinny.
Really?
What?
And clips from it keep turning up in my feed, and I love all of them. So I really want to watch that movie. So
then we'll all watch it together, I guess. Maybe we'll try to do a watch party if we can. All right, when we get done with Red Dwarf, we might do a few weeks where we just review one-shot movies that we haven't seen. Like, there's always one guy who hasn't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, or there's someone who hasn't seen, I don't know, The Big Lebowski, or
Big Lebowski's right here.
Yeah, right, or Cousin Vinny, or the other one. There's always a guy that's never seen fucking Scarface.
Right.
That's one that is tragic. Like, everyone needs to see that fucking movie. So we'll go through it. We'll try and see if there's some glaring gap in our cinematic knowledge. I've seen a lot of stuff.
What I like about this idea is perhaps we can also conduct a poll for where we go for the next long-term duration project. And maybe, just maybe,
or even the next movie to look at.
Right. Well, as I was mentioning, I think that what we've done over on Toasty's channel with making a specific studio for the reviews, it's something to consider. Because I don't know. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to check out what we made for the Thursday night show yet, but you should really take a look at it, even just to just kind of see. I might just pull you into the studio and show you around and the different rooms and everything I made, but like an entirely themed studio space for doing reviews.
Maybe we can do stuff like that. Yeah. I'm open to whatever, as long as I don't have to do it myself, because I'm so busy at the moment between trying to create new designs for Swag of the Fans and trying to write a book and trying to maintain a channel. And it's also just realized that my calculations were wrong from YouTube, and I'm going to have to get a job. So, and you know, it's just the way it is. But hit the goal, guys. We really appreciate that. And if you want to see, by the way, you'll definitely like this one. The new design I made for Amelia on a t-shirt, a little bit more risky than the other one. We've got this one, which I made earlier today during SNH.
Nice. Nice.
I think it's quite good, right? There she is, with the nice strict barrier border fence and the slogan, "Get 'em out." Which I can't possibly imagine what you might be inferring looking at this picture and seeing the phrase "Get 'em out." But I think I'd wear this on a fucking t-shirt. So there you go, guys. Hope you like that. If you are interested, I'll get the wife to upload it to the store in the next 24 hours or so, and hopefully we'll be able to get some possible purchases of that, so we can enjoy that as well. That's everything will help. So thank you very much.
Liberate the ladies, indeed.
Indeed, get them out. So there we go. All right, guys, thank you so much. We've already got a little bit of a start on the goal, which is very appreciated. I am obviously so low energy today, and my head is throbbing, like just low-key throbbing at all times. What the fuck is that? So I'm a bit cloudy. I'm not operating on peak performance today, but I will do my best to get us through the scripts for these episodes. St. Hugo is here for one GRIFT Force membership. That's for the princesses. Thank you so much.
Help me create the future of the white race.
And we also got Mr. Sardoc of House Spamfish here for £2. Says buck the fever. Yeah. I got a fever. And the only prescription is you guys giving me money.
Right. Now, as I was sitting here thinking about your current situation, definitely, we got to get. Do you already have 100 followers over there on the Rumble channel?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we should definitely start doing multi streams over there, because then it's just a matter of just
on that.
Yeah, just doing a raid at the end of the stream. Just have to do it 5 times a month, and that'll bring in a little bit of extra.
I took a step back from Rumble, not for any particular reason, but because I switched to EVMux, and I was learning that, and I didn't know if I was ready to multi-stream. And then just I'm always like last minute. I show up like 5 minutes before the fucking stream starts most days, because I'm that busy. So I'll try to find some time. Maybe you can help me out. We'll get that rolling.
Yeah.
And
bring you can ask Toasty. She sorted it out fairly quickly, and she does it. So it once you get to
hey,
habit
if
of
Rumble
integrating
wants to
it.
pay for my content, then I'll be very happy to put my content on Rumble.
Indeed.
Simple as that. And that would be
that's why I'm just thinking, how can you make more money without necessarily having to work harder? Smarter, not harder. Amongst all of them.
I've never been any good at that.
You're already getting pulled in so many directions.
I've never been any good at that. I've never been any good at two things: working smart and selling my wares. Never been any good at like hyping my own work. That's why people come up to me. They go, "Whoa, you're really talented. Your stuff's really cool. I really like it." And I'm like, "Thanks."
Right? They just walk away.
I never think like, "Hey, you should watch more of my shit. Here's a T-shirt you can buy." Like, I never do it. I forget. So I'm trying to remind myself to actually fucking pitch the stuff I'm making, because it's become really clear to me that the stuff I make is actually really good. So.
You're gonna have to make like a stinger reel at either at the end of your VODs or something somewhere along the way about the signage for the stores.
Yeah. Anyway, people don't come here to watch us talk about the channel. We get enough of that from the quartering. So if we want to be like the quartering, we can audit the channel for the first hour of every stream. But we won't do that. Sardoc, if you want this, the URL, it is swagofthefans.etsy.com. Every time somebody buys something on that, my wife texts me and goes, somebody bought something. I'm like, excellent. So thank you very much, and appreciate you for the £2, buddy. I really do. I really, really do. And we also have GIGACHUD here for £3. That's an interesting amount. You chose that yourself. Thank you. Says, not to brag, but I have a die-cast space bug. I feel like I've got a fucking space bug right now, man. Oh. Oh. That's really cool, though. Well, that's good for you, man. I have space lurgies, so we're going to go ahead and hope I can pill and water that to death in the next 24 hours or so that I don't end up with space mumps. Link doesn't work. Oh, you need the HTTPS. Sorry. Swag of the fans.etsy.com. I think that's right. I don't think I fucked up there. Now I better click it and make sure it works. Yeah, there it is. That'll take you there. My bad. Sorry, I am out of sorts today. Anyway, thank you very much, Geegalactica, for the £3. Yeah. Tell your friends. Bring them in here. We'll have some fun. We'll make some jokes. We'll laugh at Red Dwarf and we'll have some good old times. All right. Shout out, by the way, to everyone who was around on the Friday stream. And I'm really, really sorry that I didn't make yesterday's stream. I was planning to do a whole deep dive into the history of Xbox. But unfortunately, I was stricken down before I could do it. And I not very often do I have no energy at all to be able to drag my ass to the computer and stream. But yesterday was that day. I was like, oh, God, fuck you. I can't do it. I'm going back to sleep. So I'm really sorry, guys, but I will be doing it on Monday instead for Hyperdrive time. So thanks for your patience.
Evidently, the joke, I guess, is real, though. I showed up. I woke up at the end of your stream. Yes. I woke up at the end of your stream, though, when when Street Fighter Real was playing. I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I really do just wake up for tits. But hey, can you blame
me? When you pulled yesterday's stream, I thought, oh, okay, and I took a nap, and then I didn't wake up until this morning.
Right.
I know like 2 other different streams I could have been involved in.
That's kind of what happened to me as well.
Yeah.
I went to take a nap about 9 hours before the stream was set to start. Woke up and was like, nah, still too tired. Not happening. So there we go. Anyway, guys, let's get into it then. We are starting off our Red Dwarf reviews with Entangled, which we were supposed to do last week, but we couldn't because of tech issues. Unfortunately, tech issues can actually... tech issues will hamper and hinder your ability to do a stream. Sickness issues will not. So I'm going to power through this fucker. And we'll get on with it. All right. That's me. I don't want that. I want that. There we go. All right. We have Red Dwarf intro, of course, as always. And we'll move on. Now, it's been over a week since I watched this. So I'm going to have to try to remember who the fuck is talking most of the time. Lister enters the drive room and sits down. Did we start this one or something?
No.
It's the one with the curry. That's it. Yeah. Yes, that's it. So there we go. Crichton, he finds this bag on the fucking navicomp and he hits the communicator. He goes, Crichton, it's me. Are you there? Yes, sir. I'm here, sir. Reading you over. There's something on little monitor 2. Weird shape, really massive. What is it? It's your kebab, sir. As requested. Over. Says, what? This is a kebab. Says, wow, it's absolutely massive. It's a monster. A large chicken doner combo, salad, chili sauce, everything. Over. Where'd they get that? Where did they get that? Because I thought I guess he has... I question these weird little things. I don't know why. Because they originally didn't have anything on the ship, and then they had like Starbug, and they still didn't have anything. I guess you could argue that when Red Dwarf was reanimated, that all of the stuff on the ship was recreated as well, which means all the food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess they've got probably more food than Lister could eat in a lifetime, actually. If you got 3 meals a day for over 1,000 people.
Yeah. It does seem as though that they are sitting on an abundant surplus, as we find out in the other episodes that we'll be covering. Not necessarily about food, but other supplies.
Right. I've forgotten to put the watermark on this, haven't I? What a silly bastard. Hold on a moment, and I'll just pull this a sec. Put the old overlay on it, so we don't get into shit with the Beeb. Buck the Phoebe, guys. Buck the Phoebe. And there we go. So Lister is eating his Lister is eating his kebab. Wrong window, sorry. And he spills chili sauce all over the console, and it promptly explodes. So he decides that the best possible way to fix this problem of an exploding console is to pour beer on it to put out the fires.
I mean, that is the only way to settle a curry, as we've...
I mean, that is very Lister, though. You know, you don't get to see a lot of Lister, again, being a true, total, utter slob.
Yeah,
so it's really great. You know?
These 3 episodes kind of remind me of... they feel like they could have just happened at any point. You know?
Yeah.
They're a little bit more bodily episode than what we had there for a while, where it was actually, you know, progressing episode to episode, even just not directly necessarily, but there was stuff that was building on the last thing. These episodes feel like they're more under the idea that, hey, syndicated, you're just going to watch an episode of Red Dwarf and it happens, and you don't have to worry too much about what's going on beyond just sitting there and enjoying it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and that is kind of what we do get. A lot of these are testing the waters to be able to figure out. You get a little bit more experimental and continuity-laden episodes in Series 11 and 12, whereas this one, you get the update on Rimmer's brother, but it doesn't really change him. And then at the end of this review, when we get to the end of the episode, the beginning, there'll be a major shift in Rimmer's character, the kind that you think would change him forever, but it won't, because he's Rimmer. He has to be an arsehole. But there we go. Anyway, so Lister caused a small fire. He leaves some of his food on the console and just sits down to start eating it. True bastard, true slob. That actually makes me feel like sick. I mean, for starters, I'm not a huge fan of fucking kebabs in the first place. Unless it's chicken, then I can deal with it. But I don't know.
Oh, lamb kebab is much better.
Yeah.
Are you fucking high?
No, I just have standards. That's all. I don't like meat that sweats. You know, just not a big fan of sweaty meat. But hey, that's fine. That's fine. If that only makes me half British, then so be it. But I'm not.
I mean, it's poultry.
Oh God, are we doing chicken puns today? Is that the new one? Oh, for fuck's sake! I want for someone to say, "Here's a couple of bucks."
Rhoda.
Buck. Yeah. All right. Well, if you want
they're in my cap.
If you want to send chicken super chat puns, then by all means, I will roll my eyes and be grateful. So there you go. Roll back, lay back, and think of England. Excuse me.
Well, if we're talking about fucking kebab vans, then lay back and think of Abdul.
Right. Okay. Rather not. That's kind of what we're trying not to think about. But anyway, It doesn't matter. Rimmer walks in, says, "What's that smell? Has there been a fire in here?" Lister says, "Just a small one. Put it out with me beer." "For goodness sakes, Lister, that's terrible. Don't panic. I've got another one." Says, "You can't eat in the drive room. No foods or liquids around the workstation." Now, this, of course, is in the height of pre-woke HR, nanny state, political correctness culture. That
and it's just before it as well.
It's just before that transforms
this is
into
like
wokeness.
3 months before it, if that.
So the HR nightmare nanny state took over the UK in around the early 2010s. A bit before that, actually, to be honest. But it was time really for Red Dwarf to take the piss out of that, and it's funny because it then went on to get so much worse. A Red Dwarf parody of wokeness would be all I ever needed. But there we go. Anyway, he sits down and he says, "Health and Safety Protocol 121." He says, "Who cares about health and safety, Rimmer?" He says, "We're getting live signs from this moon 20 clicks east. I'm going to go check it out." He says, "Lister, we have health and safety protocols for a reason, to safeguard the crew." And Lister says, "What crew?" This is the original crew. They all got wiped out, remember? He goes, "Exactly. By you. Exactly. When you didn't fix the drive plate properly. And that radiation leak fried them to a crisp. Exactly. Which is why the whole health and safety protocol procedure has been updated. Because ultimately, who was truly to blame for that accident? The man or the system? The man. Was it the man, though? It was, yes. Or was it the system? It was the man. Definitely the man. Or was it the system? It goes, the man. The system that allowed a technician to repair a drive plate without adequate training or know-how. A system that has since been completely overhauled by yours truly, so that accidents of that nature will never happen again. It says, so what you're saying is, you've learned valuable safety lessons from wiping out the crew, and as a result, you've updated the safety regulations, making this ship a much safer working environment for the crew you wiped out. So I'm a little confused now as to where we're at continuity-wise. Because this Rimmer did not, in fact, do that.
Right.
Or if he did, they got resurrected and they all left.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is actually the old Rimmer and not the Series 8 Rimmer.
Right, but that doesn't make sense. He went off to become Ace Rimmer, which is a career choice that only ends in death and passing the mantle on to another Rimmer. So there's never going to be an explanation for this. But this is the kind of hiccup that we run into, unfortunately, that people really are never going to stop asking about. There's a little bit of a reference to the end of Series 8 in I think it's the beginning, but not exactly.
They make passing references to Kachansky being gone, and looking for her here and there. But that's about.
So it's all
okay. So you're saying it's a Series 8 Rimmer?
I'm saying it has to be.
Yeah. Okay.
So then we have to decide whether Series 8 Rimmer also was responsible for wiping out the crew in his timeline, but he's not, because they've brought back the crew to before they were all wiped out.
He must be.
The Rimmer from Series 8 had not wiped out the crew yet.
He must be aware of.
He must be aware of the responsibility of the other.
He must be aware of what happened.
The only other thing that really.
It would have been in the confidential files that he stole that got them arrested in the first place.
Okay.
So he knows that a version of him did it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing that you could you can't even necessarily even argue this, but just kind of speculate upon is after the Back to Earth stuff. This is in some way. Not like this is just kind of like a version of Red Dwarf, but it's not necessarily any one that we've seen. Like there's a multifaceted states,
right?
You know, and it has the themes and whatnot of the show, but it's not. And this is more about just running on vibes now, and just hey, it's a funny joke. It's kind of like MST3K. Don't overthink it too much. You know, like just go with it. It's 30 minutes that you get to have fun. And these are really well written characters, but
I guess you can allow them this since the rest is so very often on point. So whatever. Anyway, he says scoff away, Lister. But the point is, we have new regulations. By the way, shout out to Sardoc who just bought 2 mugs off the store. So thank you very much.
Oh, legends!
Yeah, the Amelia mug and the RTD mug as well. So there we go. Shout out. So yeah, scoff away, Lister, but the point is we have new regulations, which means that you're going to have to fill in an accident report form for that fire. A what? And once it's completed, you'll have to submit it to the Accident Report Assessment Unit. Care of the Health and Safety Executive, and who the smeg would that be? Me.
The man is the system, or the system is the man.
That's it. So then he gives him the form, and it's a whole bunch of bullshit. But he's not interested in it. He says, I'm not filling out any smecking forms, Rimmer. I'm going to check this moon. He says, ignore that, and someone could get seriously hurt. He goes, yeah, you, if you keep talking. He says, hang on a minute, it's 20 pages. He goes, I'll send you the other sections later. Typical Rimmer. All right, meanwhile, glasses are clinking. The cat is roaming around with a book. And here we see Rimmer with his clinking glasses on his science desk. Wheelie something, whatever it is. All right. Anyway, he says, you're up late, sir. He says, been hunting. He says, trying to swat this damn space weevil. He says, well, little sucker keeps outsmarting me. He says, well, they do have an IQ of 2, sir. He says, 1 minute's there, next minute's gone. It's driving me crazy. Says, what's happening with you?
An IQ of 2, sir.
Yeah. Says, well, I've been running some tests on the crystals I extracted from the quantum rod, sir. A byproduct of the rod's ability, by the way, continuity from episode 1.
Right.
A byproduct of the rod's ability to transport its host vessel seems to be a curious power of synchronicity. Okay, says, that's strange. Before I was napping, I had a dream you were doing something crazy with crystals. Then they both say, what a weird coincidence. And then they both say, hey, we both said that at the same time. And that. What's going on? Why are we saying everything together? Probably just coincidence. And they start going, oh, God, after every time they say it.
Yep.
Cat says, you think that tube thing made us speak at the same time? Crichton says, I doubt it, sir. Then they say, probably just coincidence, both of them. Says, what the hell's going on? Says, well, it seems the crystals, temporarily at least, have invigorated our psi, making us more prone to coincidence. So there was a fascinating book on the subject by a scientist called Arthur Koestler, and was called The Roots of Coincidence. Have we made it there yet? There it is.
Yeah,
Boom.
there he is. And he holds up the book.
The cat is literally using it right now to try and swap the Space Weevil. It turns out that's the book he's got. He goes, how weird is that? Because according to Koestler, coincidence is more likely to happen to people in states of heightened emotion. Or emotions lower consciousness, which increases the power of the unconscious.
Right. And I gotta say, when this scene happened, because everyone, I think at this point in time who watches any duration of these streams knows, I believe in the multifaceted states of reality. And I
know you do, yeah.
Yeah, and that what they just said is kind of my whole part of my belief structure of how you can inhabit multiple metaphysical states of reality but still be tied to like one eternal soul, and it all has to do with the frequencies that you operate at, traumas and so on and so forth. And so, you know, when I heard that, I was like, hey, you know, it made me quite
you should read that book, it seems.
Yeah. I might have to look for it.
I'm always the fucking fence sitter, and I hate that about myself, but I can't convince myself of anything quite like that. But at the same time, I'm sure, and I know that I've experienced it, where like something stressful is happening, and then things just happen to fall into place. It's just really quite bizarre.
All right.
So I don't know.
Well, you know, even though I do believe in multifaceted states of reality and whatnot, I am the first person to say that all beliefs are bullshit to some regard or to some degree. So I could be believing in something.
We've arrived at the hypocrisy that is John.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, because it's like my beliefs don't have to be.
I can't say I haven't had it happen.
Well, my point is, whatever I believe doesn't really matter. Beyond my own ability to just kind of balance myself to be a decent person, because, you know, and that's kind of why I'm saying, you know, this is what I believe, but doesn't mean that you have to, because it's not really about that. Just don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. There you go. Sage advice from fucking Rabbi John. Anyway, whatever. I don't know what to fucking call you. Anyway, so the cat says, so whenever we're together and emotional, we're likely to experience this coincidence stuff? It says, only temporarily, sir. Then they both spot the Space Weevil and they go, Space Weevil! And they run off. Meanwhile, then, we cut to the next scene and Crichton is talking to Lister. Or rather, he's trying to talk to Lister. Oh, God, it's the knacker, isn't it? He says, Mr. Lister, some rather interesting developments on the, Oh, Mr. Lister? He's outside. It's Crichton! Open the door! I've left me key! My key. Open the door! Let me in. Sorry.
No worries.
Goddamn cough. All right.
Things happen.
So he gets back in the ship. Crichton says, what on earth are you doing outside? He says, trying to get in, wasn't it obvious? We had a life sign confirmation from one of the scours. So we went to see the moon. And turned out that they had a whole bunch of life forms there. And the life forms are called BEGs, biologically engineered garbage gobblers. So another weird acronymous space race like Gelfs.
The Gelfs,
Yeah. So we've got Gelfs and we've got BEGs. which is interesting because they both sound like categories on Pornhub. But anyway, they were created on Earth to eat trash, and they've got a digestive system that can cope with scoffing sediment, sludge, and slop, perfectly inebriated with breath that could sandblast buildings. Crichton says, "I'm so pleased for you, sir. At last you finally got the opportunity to make new friends." It says, "I wanted to see if they could help in finding Kachansky." "Did they, sir?" "Nah, they've not seen her. Just spent the whole evening drinking whiskey and playing poker." Anyway, it says, "Incidentally, sir, why were you outside with a jetpack?" He goes, "Let me finish." He goes, "As I was saying, sir, where is Starbug? Let me finish." "Let me finish. As I was saying, we were sat around the..." "Sir, you lost Starbug in a card game? Oh, you've spoilt the end now. Now, don't look at me like that. There is an upside." He goes, "Upside? How can there be an upside? What's the upside?" He goes, "I lost Rimmer too." They're picking him up on Friday. He says, "That's tomorrow." "Oh, sir, what on earth are we going to do?" He goes, "I know, 24 hours. It's going to be worse than being a kid on Christmas Eve."
Successful trip.
Yeah, right.
We lost Mr. Rimmer. Oh no.
100% successful trip. Yeah. No, Lister says to Crichton, "I know, right? 24 hours. It's going to be worse than being a kid on Christmas Eve." Yeah. "Oh, all right. I'll go. All right. I'll go back tomorrow. Get him back somehow." Starbug 2. "Speaking of Mr. Rimmer, he asked me to give you these 3 accident report forms. Not these. Yeah, for you to fill in." He goes, "Oh, cheers, Crites," and then flushes them out of the airlock. Instantly, just beep, beep, beep. Then says, "Good night." And Crichton stands around waving at the forms for whatever reason. Cut 2. 3 wet, soapy spoons sitting on the kitchen counter as Crichton picks each one of them up, holds them near his arse, bends over, and we hear... Yes, that's right. Crichton is using his exhaust that we didn't know he had to air dry the spoons. I don't know why. Anyway, Rimmer walks in.
Nice sight gag.
Yeah. "Just drying the cutlery, sir, using my heat outlet." "Crichton, where's Lister? Have you seen him?" "I think he may be in the drive room, sir." "Has he had an opportunity to talk to you yet, sir?" "Why?" "No reason, sir. I just wondering. Do you know if he's completed that sheaf of health and safety forms yet?" "I think he might need another set, sir." He says, "See, there was a slight accident with the airlock and the papers were accidentally sucked out into space, sir." And Rimmer says, "Another accident." He says, "That means he's going to have to fill out 2 sets of accident report forms." "I'll get the papers." He says, "Well, it wasn't an accident per se, sir." "You mean he just flushed them out into space?" "Well, I wouldn't put it exactly like that, sir. Were safety procedures followed? Was an airlock accident risk assessment form completed before he opened the airlock?"
Rimmer is doing all that he can to
embody
reinstate
the
his douche points.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, I don't think there were many countries. This is one of the reasons Brexit happened, by the way. This is one of the reasons that Brexit was even on the table, is we were getting all these fucking bullshit health and safety laws coming from Brussels.
Mm-hmm.
The British have never been much for health and safety. Just let us fucking do things. We're much more traditional than that. It's like trying to tell the hobbits they've got to have health and safety.
Right.
You know?
Well, see,
They're
that's
gonna be like, we don't need that fucking bullshit. We just need good old British know-how.
The thing is, Brexit was voted for and passed, but it was never
happened.
Right, but we have the same thing, I think, happening around the world at this point in time, where a lot of freedom and liberties and just standards of cultural practice are being undermined by terms of service policies and things like that, things that sidestep actual, the way that things should operate, because some kind of vested authority now just deems that you should do these things, and
excuse me, indeed, you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
And what we're getting now is everybody rejecting this shit. It's one of the reasons that I like living in the Philippines, is for as haphazard as everything actually is, no one ever really dies because of low-hanging power lines or anything like that. They don't use harnesses when there are buildings. Like, I used to live in a complex of 7 buildings, 2 of which were not built and one was half built when I moved in.
Right.
By the time they finished, but by the time I left that place, my parents had lived in one of the buildings for a year, right? So basically what I'm trying to say is I watched them building these buildings, and I walked and looked straight up. There were 11 floors on each of these buildings, I think. 11 to 12 floors on each of these buildings. And I used to watch as these skinny little men in bare feet, topless, were standing on top of it with no safety equipment whatsoever, building it. None.
So, might you be saying, in a world of Bear Grylls and Fred Dibners, be a Fred Dibner?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. I'll touch you about it later. That's cool.
But I'm sure you're right. Yeah. But yeah, they didn't. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying this is the smartest thing to do. It was quite alarming, to be honest. Like a safety harness is not the same as a health and safety regulation gone mad.
Right.
But you know, you got to admire the plucky little bastards getting up there and just doing it.
Yeah. I do think that common sense and self-preservation go a lot further than most people would.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I mean, there is a dark side to it though as well.
Respect these days, right?
The dark side is that if one of them falls and dies, they are replaced immediately.
True enough.
Third world. But there you go. Anyway. So he's got to fill in another set of fucking forms, and then he goes ahead and pins a stupid little plastic sleeve to the airlock and says, Health and Safety Protocol number 46. He's such a wanker, man. He's such a wanker.
Oh, sexy.
So there we go. Meanwhile, Lister is in the drive room muttering to himself about there's got to be a solution to this. And Rimmer comes in. Now you're going to get your classic Three's Company style misunderstanding scene now. Rimmer walks in and says, I've just been speaking to Crichton, and he told me what you did. Now, he thinks he's talking about flushing the health and safety forms. Lister thinks he's talking about losing him to some aliens in a card game.
Right.
Because neither of them have explained explicitly to each other what they're talking about. So, I've just been speaking to Crichton and he told me what you did. Did he?
They're experiencing some degree of some Chinese whispers.
Kind of, yeah, or just a lack of synchronicity, which is ironic considering what's going on with Crichton. Right. Says, I have to say I'm disappointed, but not in the least bit surprised. He was right. Well, you're taking it better than I expected. Says, expect people to let you down and you'll never be disappointed. So Lister says, let me just say right off the bat that I'm truly sorry. I really am. Says, you're not sorry. He goes, of course I'm sorry. I've been up all night thinking about it. I can't sleep. Says, are you serious? Says, of course I'm serious. What I did was out of order, out of line, beyond the pale. And Rimmer goes, wow. He says, and let me just say, I'll put everything to rights first thing in the morning. I promise. And Rimmer gets really happy. He says, finally, after all these years of battering my head against a wall, trying to make you into a person of caliber and stature who takes pride in the mundane and the petty, at last the penny's dropped. Listy, I have to say, I think you've finally become the vending machine third technician of my dreams. And he really got like, of my dreams, the way he says it. It's really over the top. Oh, hello. St. Hugo is here for €5. Says, pardon another derailing. Yeah, that was funny this morning. In SNH, there was somebody who got really bent out of shape about the fact that the super chats kept. Well, no, actually, I think he was just shit posting, to be honest. I don't think he was actually annoyed. But we all reacted like he was. But he basically said, you guys, you're all fine you got topics to talk about, but you're all fine to sit and talk about all these super chat things for a long, long time. We're like, yes, because we have personalities and because it's a live stream. If you want content that gets straight to the point. I think what you're looking for is videos.
Right.
But anyway, the guy then realized he'd not made it clear that he was kind of fucking with us. So
yeah,
it's all good in the hood. Anyway, pardon another derailing, says St. Hugo. That's fine. You bring them on, please. We need to hit this goal. I badly need to hit this goal.
Indeed.
But I sent the result of mostly yesterday's whiskey via Twitter DM. What? Maybe intermission material. All right. I'll take a look. We've been back and forth with trying to figure out a way to put together a competition thing. You know what? I'm not going to say any more about it. It's the Clash of the Fans idea. So we've been talking a lot about that. And I don't know if this is to do with that, and that's why I don't want to say any more about it until such time as there's actually something we've tested and it's running and we can make it work. So there we go. Anyway,
you definitely need to talk to nobody about his current project because they can integrate with that specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, St. Hugo, thank you very much for €5. We'll check that out after the episode.
Thank you for $5.
Oh, I feel like shit. Excuse me. All right. Okay. What is this? Let me have just a quick check.
Yeah, but yeah, the basically within the first half hour, I don't know, nobody joined us on Friday night for the Fraturday, and we had an impromptu TED talk of him explaining his current app that is about to release. In addition to the one that's already there, this one's called Dono Trigger. So if you,
nice.
Yeah. So just the name alone should kind of give you an idea of what it's capable of doing. So that's why I'm saying
That's cool.
It might actually integrate specifically with your idea.
Cool. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. We should definitely talk, or rather, probably St. Hugo should talk to him more than me because I'm well out of my depth for this. Anyway, regardless, let's see then what we can do. All right. So Lister is now the third technician of Rimmer's dreams. He's so happy that Lister wants to help him, so he gives him some more forms, and Lister says, "What's this?" He says, "The accident report forms." He goes, "I haven't got time to waste twatting about with that." He goes, "What?" He goes, "I've got to dig myself out of this hole I've got myself into." He goes, "Hole? What hole?" He goes, "The gambling with Begs hole." He goes, "Gambling with Begs? You've been gambling with Begs? Those garbage munchers? Lister, I've told you 1,000,000 times, you gamble with lowlives, there's only one loser. Cat is here now with Crichton, says, "In this case, there's two." Says, "Who's the other one?" It's a guy about your height, your colouring, who goes by the name of you. And they look really grave here, actually. Crichton says, "Mr. Lister gambled you in a poker game, sir, and I'm afraid to report he lost you." Cat says, "We're all deeply sorry, bud. Well, apart from me and him and him." Says, "Do you really think this is helping?" He goes, "I'm not here to help. Read my CV. Does not help. Does not clean. Will have sex with anything." He goes, "You lost me in a poker game? Like I'm some kind of thing to be lost in a poker game?" So I was trying to win Starbuck back. I didn't have anything else they wanted. That's right. Turn the engines up full power. We'll outrun them.
And cue the reveal that that they've done quite a good job of keeping under wraps since he's returned from said game. But look at this.
The knacker attacker.
Indeed.
There is indeed it's a groin exploder. Which is a nice bit of ingenuity. It does exactly what it says on the tin, actually.
The testicle spectacle.
Eh?
The testicle spectacle.
The testicle spectacle. There are a lot of names you could come up with this. I mean, it's pretty good. We get most of them in this. Says, "Wow, cool pants, bud." This is why they can't run away. Says, "Oh, that's a groin exploder, sir." It sure is. Says, "That's going to drive the chicks nuts. If I don't make good on my debt, deliver Rimmer by midnight tomorrow, then this thing is going to propel my love spuds into the far reaches of deep space." So what? You never used them anyway. So have you tried removing it, sir? It's rigged to blow if I tamper with it.
Now, I will say in this season,
Go on.
Cat gets some really good, like, he
gets more than he normally does.
Yeah. He seemingly gets I wouldn't say necessarily more fleshed out, but he definitely has more moments and kind of like really excels at the time that is given, for his little bits during,
Right.
especially these last 3 episodes.
Exactly. So then, Lister, Rimmer rather, is laughing and enjoying Lister's plight. But as Crichton reminds Rimmer, if Lister dies, then the ship will automatically shut down his hologramic projection unit and crash into a sun, as it tried to last time.
Indeed.
So there we go. So he says, you guys are sort of connected. Then the cat says, like we are. And then they both go, what a coincidence, at the same time. A thought occurs, sir. This technology... Oh, at this point, they've discovered the letters ERRA on the side of the collar that Lister is wearing. That's the manufacturer, ERA.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really cool. We're going to get to that. The technology is beyond anything that Begs could manufacture. They have a low cunning, but are a primitive race of little sophistication. And maybe that is the answer. Now, we get a look at an actual fucking Red Dwarf. Look at this planet. This is the most beautiful planet they've ever been.
Yeah, no, they're models that they're using for the show have certainly, taken it up a notch, to say the least.
So there we go. Anyway, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm very tired.
The CGI for like everything.
Everything looks really good. This is about the time that if you had even a modest budget, you could render crazy good stuff in CGI. If you were interested in doing it, you could also make complete crap, which a lot of people do. Which is why I get offended when they call AI.
This
AI
is exactly
slop.
This is exactly where we were. 15 years ago with CGI and coming into into prominence in TV along with movies, but definitely with TV series. And that's why when people sit here and talk about AI slops, like, well, this is more of a skill issue than anything, and that will bear itself out over time. And then, I mean, you're always going to have, it's kind of like here with streams. There's a huge difference between turning on camera and having a stream account on a platform and actually doing a show and having some, level of entertainment to resonate with people. Both exist and they will simultaneously, but the people that just go on camera probably going to burn out. And same thing with AI slop. It'll be there, but it's not ever really going to have. It's not.
Who's underwater?
You're better now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it, because it already kind of corrected itself.
Tends to fix itself within 20 seconds, so I'm not overly bothered. I wish I knew what was causing it, though. I tried bringing the microphone closer to my mouth, but then I can't shout. So I have to be a little bit more careful with my voice. Anyway, so we arrive then at the Beg base, the whatever you can call it. And, they're going to play cards again. He says, the Beg says, so you return with my winnings. Ha, ha, ha. And in keeping... and Lister says, and in keeping with our agreement, you deactivate the knacker attacker, yes? So that's where you get that word from. I can't forget that. That's my favorite of all of the names they use for it. They all ha 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 ha. He goes, is that the hologram? Is like, yeah. And there's Rimmer wearing a fucking parka. He goes, yes, it is. But as you can see, he's old and raddled and fit for nothing. Scrumgilla, Fum Ologon, Chagala, Raddled Mumblaga Drogo. Who says that? Is that Crichton? I guess, yeah. It says, instead, I bring you this. Ogar la Kragumo Hijun. It says, the fabled. Where is it? Where is it?
Spoon of everything or something.
Yeah, it's the Spoon of Destiny or whatever. I don't understand it. Why can't I find it? Did we skip the shot that has it in it? Whatever, anyway. He opens a tiny flight case, basically a briefcase that has foam in it, and in there is the Spoon of Destiny. It's just a spoon.
Right.
Apparently we can't...
But they don't know that.
Apparently we can't display that. Yeah. Oh, no, they're still holding it there, aren't they? No. No.
Yeah, you can't show spoons anymore. They're cutlery.
Oh, there it is. You can see it. He's got it open on his lap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to drive me nuts. I just want to show the fucking spoon of destiny, you sons of bitches. Whatever. Anyway, he has the spoon of destiny. He that hath the spoon controls all things. No object hath such power. Umba la scrum drew yinjala yellow controls trala lumo drobo. Hiswa xentu mo. He says, if the spoon controls all things, why are you trading it? Lister says, we just don't really use it much anymore. And it's a good question. We prefer the ship of green and the sexy light man with the lady legs so long and luscious. Because he speaks English. Lebongo Rogu Billion blah blah. English boarding school Bilang Aru. He says, what? He went to an English boarding school. He goes, no, sir. He ate someone from an English boarding school. He forced them to teach him English, and then he munched them whole. Says, if it pleases, we will play cards again. Then perhaps you will win back your hologram and your ship of green. Or maybe you will lose. And if you do, we will take your droid and your scented shiny friend too. Rimmer says, look, we got nothing to lose. Let's play. Cat says, Cat and Crichton say, I got a bad feeling about this. I got this one, Crichton. Says, sir, you are being set up again. Don't you see? They're not simple people. They're every bit as smart as you or I. He goes, yeah, I was close last time. I just got a bit cocky. Says, Cat says, you choked. You always choke. You can't handle the pressure, bud. If anyone's going to choke, they'll choke. No, Lister says, if anyone's going to choke, they'll choke. And then both Crichton and the Cat at the same time say, they'll choke. He goes, yeah, the other ones. And on cue, thanks to the power of synchronicity and coincidence, all of the Begs begin choking to death right on cue and die. Because Crichton and Cat's weird power of synchronicity has managed to
manifest reality.
They've managed to actually manifest predestiny. Yeah.
You've been crited.
You've been critered. That's right. So there we go. Anyway, if you ask
which
me,
does make me kind of consider that ever since going on to the derelict with the quantum drive, that we are maybe dealing with some version of an augmented reality, which is drawing on the aspects, the motifs of the show and the themes, but this is just kind of its own space.
Is that any better?
I don't know, but
can you guys? Do I sound?
Your sound? Yeah, no, your sound is fine. Your sound's fine now.
And you can't hear background noise.
Everything sounds fine to me today.
Yeah,
which is unusual.
Yeah,
that's great. I just turned off echo cancellation, so I'll see what happens. Maybe that will do something to sort the volume out. Anyway, so the Lister's begging them, don't die. The only guys who could get me out of this thing, and now they're dead. What am I going to do? So they sit down, and they have a big meeting, boys of the dwarf style, much like they did before combating the white hole or the polymorph, but they're actually themselves.
Yeah. Now I will. I think that this actually should work for you, Will, because I don't run echo cancellation on EV modes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I never do.
So Lister says, "Let me get this straight. You guys have become quantum entangled somehow." Exactly. And by the way, whenever I talk in that kind of slightly raspier voice, that's both Cat and Crichton talking together. Okay, I don't know how to make my voice sound like two, so that's the best I can come up with. So you killed them.
Exactly.
That event was always going to occur. It's just that with our heightened emotions, we were aware of the synchronicity. Says, who cares? What am I going to do now? Says, perhaps we can harness our newfound powers to help, sir. How? Well, Kurtzler said that intense emotional states tend to drive coincidence. So you're saying we need to make you two emotional? Precisely. Cat says, getting me emotional? That's going to be harder than you think, buddy. You ever heard the expression, as cool as a cat? We're pretty hard to fluster. And as he finishes saying that, Lister has grabbed a pair of scissors and snipped off his ponytail.
Oh,
says-
you'll be getting
he
a
says,
punch for that from me. Don't you worry
Stage
about
1
that.
achieved. Stage 1 achieved. Oh, I did that to a friend of mine once. We did it not just like that. Like we were playing pool, and I bet him if he could. He looked ridiculous. He had bleached his hair like 3 or 4 times in a row as he was growing it, and then he'd left it a year or so before without bleaching it again. So he had long fucking hair that went all down his back in a ponytail, but he had on his head entirely down to his collar, black hair.
Right.
And a blonde ponytail that was like 3 feet long.
Oh, okay, that's justifiable.
And I said, I'm cutting that motherfucker off. And he was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And he was living on mine and my friend's sofa when we were
guy on the
at
couch,
university. Yeah, couch guy. We called him the dog. You know, his name was Johnny. We called him Johnny the dog. Called him Jonathan Dogman last name. And we used to go down
the guy on the couch.
Yeah, right. And we used to go down the local. He had weed too, which was kind of cool. And we used to go down. He got it from his mum. It was funny. I was the only one with a job. So when I was at Blockies, I'd go to work and I'd come home and I'd find him stoned on the couch, and I'd be like, "Do you want to watch?" Probably Red Dwarf, to be honest. But they're talking about 2009 or 10 or whatever. But excuse me. So yeah, he was a good lad. But one night I said, we're playing pool down this big park that was popular with all the students, £1 pints and stuff like that. You know, we're playing pool. Had like 3 games. I was on fire that night for some reason. And then we were doing like 2 against 1. We'd rotate, me and my mate and John,
right?
Johnny. And we said, I said, right, if I win this game, I'm cutting off your fucking ponytail. No questions about it. And he wasn't having it. And then I did win. So then we went home and with 2 pairs of fucking kitchen scissors that were not equipped for the job ahead of him. While his ponytail was still tied up,
Jesus,
we snipped the motherfucker off bit by bit. Little by little, we carved through this fucking tree with these scissors. And then we threw it over our balcony onto the street below. And the street below was a main shopping high street in Luton. And I could probably even tell you exactly where it was. It was above the British Heart Foundation shop in Luton, not far from the clock tower, about a 2-minute walk from the McDonald's. And we threw it down onto the street, and we watched as people walked past it and were trying to figure out what the fuck it was. I think people thought it was some kind of dead bird. It was fucking hilarious. But there you go. So that's the kind of stupid shit I used to do. But snipping off a man's ponytail without at least coming up with a good reason, fuck that. That's scummy behavior. However, it is really funny when it's the cat. The cat, if anyone deserves to have their ponytail cut off, it's the cat. Because he's such a dick, you know, like, you can't scare me. Oh yeah? Snip. You know. Right. So there we go. So Rimmer, my cat is going bananas again. So Lister snips the cat's ponytail just as he's saying, "We're pretty hard to fluster, buddy," and says, "Stage 1 achieved." And he's just shocked, just like literally just. So there we go. What do we do now? And now that they've established high emotional states between him and Crichton, the TV just randomly flickers on. And you hear these 2 characters say, "He's in danger, isn't he?" "Oh, darling, can't we help him?" "He's got to get to the station. It's his only chance." "But there's so little time." And they realize that the TV has flicked on by sheer coincidence to give them an idea of what they should do. Which, by the way, in almost any other circumstance, in almost any other TV show, would be the worst, most cancerous plot hole ever in the history of writing plot holes. Worse than anything in The Last Jedi. Worse than anything that they've done to Star Trek. Except that it is, in fact, the running joke of the episode. That things will just coincidentally and conveniently happen around them because of the quantum rod. Now that, my friends, is how you do some serious fucking comedy writing when you're doing a sci-fi parody.
You are correct.
You turn plot holes into actual plot. Fucking genius. So there we go. Anyway.
Oh, that's the way to put it. Oh, I haven't heard it said that way before. You turn plot holes into plot.
I mean, I've never thought of it before. It just rolled off the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I literally have never ever even considered that phrase before, because I'd never analyzed this episode before, but I've always been, aware of my enjoyment of this. All right, let's keep going and let's help get the goal, guys. We're at 15%. Oh no. All right, let's keep going. So then we get more from the TV. They've worked out that they're talking about some kind of space station. They say, it's up to him now. His fate is written in the stars. Cat says, maybe the stars have something to do with this. And he holds up the book by Arthur Koestler.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that book again. And both of them go, I'm not even going to say it at the same time. The pair of them. Look, stars and numbers 352311. Those sound like space. Crichton and Cat. Those sound like space coordinates. And then Rimmer says, that's getting really annoying. So they both say, that's what Era is. It's a space station. And maybe the device was manufactured on the space station and ended up on this moon somehow. Let's punch these numbers into the Navicomp and see where it takes us. So that's what they do. And they end up heading towards this place called the Erroneous Reasoning Research Academy, or ERA for short. Now, this has got to be one of the greatest names that Doug Naylor has ever come up with. It's multifaceted. It works on 2 levels. It's literally called ERA, as in you made a fucking error. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the actual acronym is still Erroneous Reasoning, meaning you're wrong. Right. Your reasoning is wrong. Erroneous, useless. So, Erroneous Reasoning Research Academy, sir, or ERA for short. And this, I'm sorry, this 100% belongs in the lore of Red Dwarf. A lot of people were like, well, they're just making up stuff as they go along. Now I'm like, what are you talking about? You believed in Legion, right? You can believe in this.
That's like what writing is.
Yeah.
Writing is making up stuff.
Right.
This is good writing. This is good making up stuff.
But what I mean is it's also good tonally with Red Dwarf. It complies with Justice World and Legion and anything else. The Era base, absolute pure Red Dwarf.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Indeed.
And I'll save my comment till they actually kind of explain it, because
I only have one complaint with this episode, and it's not relevant yet.
Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So, what the hell? My phone is. I must have accidentally said something that sounded like Google. Oh well. Erroneous reasoning. What's that? Most of the great scientific breakthroughs came when 2 theories previously dismissed as wrong are combined to make a right. The DNA double helix was discovered in this exact way. What do they do here? Well, they specialized in wrongness, sir. Wrongness? The staff were handpicked for their ability to be mistaken, for their gifts in fallacious analysis and defective reasoning.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, and I think there is something to that. Is it's kind of like when you bring in people that are naive to standardized practices and things like that, and some people, when you go to, especially when you go to art school these days, and their indoctrination.
I can imagine like a Crichton style professor, taking people in and saying like, "Oh, you are so good at being wrong. I can harness this, sir."
Well, the point I'm getting at, Rhoda, is when you go to college these days, they try to churn everybody out to just be exactly the same, and so you kind of have this dearth of style and just artistic sensibilities. They don't really thrive, and but every once in a while you luck upon people that are just like they don't pay attention to all the bullshit that's getting fed into them.
Yeah, it's a savant thing. They're not actually plugged into the thing they're supposed to be working on. So their fresh eyes can provide an alternate perspective that very often can the shortcut to the conclusion that people need. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's based on that, obviously. Anyway, That was an interesting acronym, almost as good as error.
Is
God
that
damn.
Almost.
Indeed.
Friend in chat, Kilo India Romeo Alpha. Is that Kira? Is that like Major Kira from DS9?
I mean, you would think that someone who comes here would know we're pretty good at acronyms. But there you go. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, man, like WTF.
Yeah, WTF, clitoris, you know. All right, let's crack on then. So they have come here, much like the aforementioned Kilo India Romeo Alpha, because everything here is wrong.
Right.
So there we go. Anyway, this is a great line, by the way. It says, the staff were hand-picked for their ability to be mistaken and their gifts in fallacious analysis and defective reasoning. Kat turns to Rimmer, says, you could have excelled here. Says, they were all out. He says, they were all outstandingly good at being consistently incorrect. There were a lot of referees, TV critics, weathermen, who were then re-educated in the sciences to develop extraordinary new erroneous theories that would be combined together to produce works of great genius. Well, did it work? No. So, I love this, by the way. First of all, shout out to the line about football referees and TV critics.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get that in there somewhere. You've got to dig at your critics, you know, you've got to do it. I just did it. You've got to do it. But there we are. And of course, weathermen as well. But I love that line. They would combine their erroneous reasoning together to provide great works of new and unexplored genius. Did it work? No. The whole idea turned out to be wrong. The man behind the idea was so depressed, he attempted suicide. Naturally, he failed and went on to live into his 90s. That's the kind of humor that would have got my mom cackling like a fucking hen. Yeah.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah. She would have gone, like I do, you know. Anyway, look, we know the device was manufactured here. The key to getting out of this has got to be here somewhere. So they discover that there's a life form in stasis. Top floor. So they press top floor, but they're going down. Right. So Lister presses down, and they're suddenly going up. Kat says, now we're going up. Everything is wrong here. Oh, sorry, Crichton says that. Everything is wrong here. Rimmer says, I don't think you're right, Crichton. I assure you I am, sir. No, I like this place. I'm very comfortable here. The smell, the atmosphere, it feels like
the
home.
stench of failure, sir.
The stench of wrongness. Yeah. Ding! They get the stasis boots are in there. They quickly decide to turn Rimmer into soft light, which is quite nicely done.
Yep.
A little bit of quick color correction, actually really quite easy to do. I could even do it myself. But it's nice to see that they've still kept with the law that blue is hard light and soft is red. So that's fine by me. And he walks straight through to open the door and switch back to hard light. And then he establishes that there is a life form here. Can you read me, sir? Switching you over now. Back to hard light, over. See anything? Eyes adjusting, walking along. Wait. Stasis booths. Banks of them. Anything? There's a light on in one of the booths. Whatever it is, it's alive. According to the readouts, female, age 31. And Lister, drunk on the coincidence energy that is dominating the episode, goes, Kachansky's female? Kachansky's 31? Is it Kachansky? Says, whoever it is, they're brunette. 5'5". Kachansky's brunette? Kachansky's 5'5". Is it Kachansky? Says, start pod deactivation sequence. Getting ID info. Give me 2 minutes. Going offline. And Lister goes, oh, it won't be her. It'll be someone else. It won't be her. I know it's not her. Don't even think for 1 second that I think it's her. Because I know it's not. I know it. So say it is. Do you think it might be? Do you think it's got something to do with this coincidence thing? They both say, could be. Door opens. Rimmer walks out. Here we go. Walks out. Gentlemen, Meet Professor Edgington. Nice name.
You're right.
Head of the ERRA Institute and inventor of the groinal exploder. And here she is.
Not quite what we were expecting.
Well, it more or less is what I was expecting,
Yeah,
to be fair. I mean, not quite what I was expecting.
Well,
but...
when I say we're, I mean I kind of meant the guys, the boys, you know.
Well, I mean, if I was Lister, I'd go apeshit then.
Yeah.
But I'd probably still put my chimping.
Good God, man, we couldn't get the chicken puns. We're not going to get monkey puns either, you know? Unless anyone wants to help us with the goal. Which I really hope they fucking do, because I need it. Anyway, that would send me off to sleep just nice. By the way, guys, if you want, I did say this earlier, in addition to the obvious booba video, if we can get the goal, I will also show you the newest updated version of the Amelia video, which is currently at about 2.5 minutes. It's the longest one I've ever done, but the song is such a banger I couldn't bring myself to cut it. So it's like a 4-minute song, which is about as long as I could reasonably justify ever. But there you go. So if you want to see that, help us get the goal. I'll be very happy to show you. I'm actually starting to really like it. All right. Meanwhile, Monkey walks out of, Ape walks out of the pod, and it's Professor Edgington, the inventor of the groinal exploder. Most fascinating. She was working on a research program into evolution, attempting to evolve into the next species of the evolutionary ladder. Naturally, the professor, as a gifted error put, got the experiment totally wrong. So basically, she took an evolutionary wrong turn and wound up a monkey. She could have stopped and asked directions. Maybe that's the cat. I don't know. Much as I'm enjoying this chit-chat, it ain't helping me get the ball-buster off. Ball-buster, yeah. It says, I believe it is, sir. This is the very machine Professor Edgington carried out her operation with. Now, if we can evolve her back to her human form, she may be able to help us. I've studied the manual. It seems quite straightforward. I'm amazed she got it so wrong that she is with a box on her head. So there they are, the monkeys here. All right, let's go. Switch it on now. Pressing undo. It's literally just a Control-Z is all it takes. And the monkey turns into a beautiful blonde who is naked. And they all say, oh, Smeg, she's human. Oh, Smeg, she's naked. She's also naked. Did anyone mention that yet? Is she naked? Oh, yes, I didn't notice. I'll go get her a sheet immediately. No rush, Crichton. Remember Protocol 175. No running in the corridors. Take your time. Walk carefully. Forget about the lift, Crichton. Take the stairs one at a time. He's just going to be a few minutes. What are you doing, Lister? Lister gives her a coat. So,
yeah, Lister is an absolute fucking gentleman there. I mean, like,
Lister is always a gentleman, actually, when it matters.
He's the only actual human there, and he wants to cover her up because he's a fucking gentleman.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, guys. I didn't hit the mute button in time.
These things happen.
Yeah, it's annoying. I fucking hate this, but hey, I am what I am. So, allow me to introduce you to the crew, Professor Edgington. She says, oh, please, call me Irene or Professor E. That's right. Her name is Irene E.
Yes.
Irene E. That'll come into play later.
Yeah.
She says, this is Mr. Rimmer. Mr. Rimmer? I sense some kind of special bond between us. I've always been attracted to the brave, silent type. Yes, chat, her glasses are upside down. I don't know why. She's approaching levels of wrongness that I've never seen. I don't know how she managed to do it, but she did. Anyway, she's, of course she's wrong. She's attracted to Rimmer. She says, I sense a special bond between us. I've always been attracted to the brave, silent types. Rimmer's like, well, that's me, all right. He says, I probably won't speak again for hours, and I'll be off silently doing something very brave. She says, what a gorgeous bunk room. She says, it's utterly enchanting. This fucking shithole. They're like, enchanting? She says, oh, who plays the trumpet? Pointing at the guitar. I said, do any of you play? Lister says, yeah, I play. She says, I bet you're absolutely brilliant. Can't help herself but flirt with everybody apparently as well. That's another thing women do wrong. You know, make themselves too available. So, fair enough. So, moving on to the matter at hand. Yeah. Can you help me get out of this? It's a diagram. It says 5 symbols. We have to turn them all off in the correct order. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, theta. Keep your eye on the chat, by the way, guys. One of you at least. And says, what happens if we choose the wrong ones? She says, absolutely nothing. It's all perfectly safe. So, Lister goes, oh, God. Says, right, if you're going to explode, it's not going to be in, sorry, that's Lister Rimmer who says it. It's not going to be in here. Oh, protocol 121, no exploding in the drive room, right? Says, sir, perhaps best you stand in the corridor. Says, don't mess this up. I'm relying on you, Crichton. Don't listen to a word she says. So, here we go. It's all very tense. The music is very dramatic for this. You get your almost like Duel of the Fates style music playing in the background. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, theta. Okay, Mom, what's the first one we turn off? She says, beta. Beta it is. No. Alpha. No, beta. Beta or alpha? Or delta? No, it's definitely delta. Delta or gamma? The only one Professor E hasn't mentioned is theta. Yep. First one, here it comes, sir. Theta. Click. So far, so good. Lister's balls didn't explode. Right, they ask next. Next one. Gamma. Definitely gamma, trust me. Any other possibilities? No. No, gamma, it's definitely gamma, just gamma. I'm certain it's gamma. Or maybe beta or alpha. Next one, sir. Here we go. Delta. Click. So far, so good. Next, alpha, beta, or gamma. She says beta. Or gamma. Or beta. Crichton screams, alpha! And deactivates alpha. 2 more, sir, and then we're there. And Lister is tense as fuck. 2 more. He says, my boots are full of my own leg dribble. Says, Professor, call me Irene. Everybody does. Says, next wire, gamma or beta, ma'am? Beta. It's definitely beta. I'm not going to change my mind this time. Beta. 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 And then they say, okay, gamma it is. Okay, go for it. Now, but then the cat and Crichton at the same time with their power of synchronicity both say, wait a minute. How about this for weird? Her name's Irene, and her nickname is Professor E. Put those names together, and you get Irene E. Irony. Wouldn't it be ironic if a professor known for being wrong finally got something right? What do we do? Go for it. Go for beta. Lister says, go for beta. Go for what she said. He's just tired of this. At this point, you get this line where he just sighs and goes, yeah, that makes sense. I've been in this fucking show for fucking 40 years, 30 years. I know what's up. I'm in Red Dwarf. I'm Dave Lister. I know what's going to happen. Go with what she said. It's going to be ironic. You know, Lister at this point, sort of self-aware, knows his entire life has been one fucking sequence of ironic things, one after another. So there we go. So they press beta. And the whole thing, I guess we'll show it. 2-1, beta, click, bonk, done. Lister is saved, and everything is back to normal. Except, of course, for one thing, they still have a woman on board.
Hey, I mean,
now,
upgrades, right?
As you know, this cannot be allowed to happen on Red Dwarf. There cannot be a happy ending for anyone.
Well, I mean,
this is where I got an issue. I mean, I'll let the episode take shape before I actually say it, but
yeah. So we walk down the corridor. Arnold Rimmer and Irene Edgington. And she says, "Oh, Arnold, you're everything I want in a man. Kind, clever, generous, so selfless. That's it." Yes. Says, don't forget amazing. She says, can I ask you a question? Says, and they look at each other. And she says, do you think it would be wrong for us to make love on our very first evening together?
Whoa! There we go. You know, Rimmer.
Rimmer
when
gets
you- when
laid,
you-
man. Rimmer gets
Yeah,
laid more
yeah.
than anyone else in this fucking
Yeah,
show.
yeah. Rimmer's got a magnetism to him, for as much as. But this stands to reason because women actually are kind of into assholes.
Look, if Rimmer was going to do what he was going to do, then he should have picked her up right there and run to his bug with her and not allowed her to speak or say anything ever again. But,
he is playing with probability.
Yes, unfortunately. So she says, do you think it would be wrong for us to make love on our very first evening together? And he says, let me think. Well, Irene, on reflection, and I've given this much thought, I don't think it would. In fact, I think it would be absolutely fine, tickety-boo and peachy, and she gives him a big smile. Lister creeps in from the airlock, says, hiya. And he says, come on.
And
she
in
then
classic
trips.
Rimmer fashion!
Yes, she trips on the accident report forms. Now
Rimmer
that's
set
ironic.
I don't. Right. Okay. This is where my issue comes in. I mean, obviously, tripping on Rimmer's accident report forms should be the way someone goes out. Sure. But they spent like the whole episode bringing this character in, and then just killed her off. And it's what happens afterwards, like the way
she's not a character, she's a plot device.
It's the way the characters just shrug off her being killed off, like okay, like that was like the new second to last person human alive, and they don't give a fuck. They're just like,
Well, to be fair, they've been through so much of this smeg at this point that they should probably just be like, yeah, of course, par for the course for us, isn't it?
Yeah, because even the fact that Rimmer is his own worst enemy, insistent upon all these forms and everything. He's the one who set the box there in the hallway, clearly creating a safety hazard.
I see what you're saying, Rhoda, that they should probably be more bothered about the fact that they just executed or had a hand in the accidental demise of the second to last person alive.
Yeah,
but then it's also Red Dwarf, and they've been through this kind of smeg for so many years now. Like, we're talking, they've been in this environment now for like 20 years.
They've made their fucking mission about rescuing Kachansky.
But that's because it's Kachansky.
But that's Kachansky. This isn't Kachansky. Again,
Kachansky.
She is not really even a character. She's more of
and
just
there's
a
nothing
plot
they can
device.
do about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, she's already and technically at this point in time, all that's happened at this point in time, Rhoda's, and because as we're about to see, as it completes the scene, she's only fallen into the air lock at this point.
Oh yeah, but I mean, we're talking about after she's gone, and they just
right. Which and so at this point in time, it's a slight little faux pas. They try to get her to not. to not do what ultimately happens, and but she is she's the master of her own destiny. And
I just really didn't like the way a human character was done away with so flippantly.
Have we got another alternative to this? Have we got another?
Especially given the context of this show, like if it happened in like fucking Star Trek Lower Decks, then okay, fair enough. She fucked up. She paid the price. But, I mean, this is Red Dwarf, and David Lister is supposed to represent what's left of humanity.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're all very, very, very jaded.
Right, and I think that, Rhoda, your reaction kind of reveals more about you than it actually says about the show. And it's not anything bad. It's that you actually kind of, you care about the concept of a human character,
and I'm sure that's not an insult, but I'd like to learn what you mean by that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that you're actually interested in this.
You're a caring person.
Yeah, you actually give a shit about someone who, as I said, this isn't even a character. This is just a plot device that just happens to take the shape of a person.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of thing where you dive in too deep, maybe, and like she's not really a character. No one expected her to be around for any more episodes.
Right.
And the silliest and funniest,
and I can appreciate your concern,
most
as a
farcical, Faulty Towers-esque way that they can get rid of her.
Right. But I understand your concern on a human level. So
but what I mean is, they're so used to this kind of shit now that they probably just would be like, oh, for fuck's sake. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what happens to us. That's what always happens. Now there's another one dead. And the only thing Rimmer cares about is having sex. So, yeah. But regardless of that, it is bad. It's not great that it happens, but I can see their reactions to it being cold and jaded. I mean, Lister was fine with the idea of having lost Rimmer earlier on in a card game. So, you know, which is a bit weird, really, considering how they've bonded over the years. But,
Slay.
But anyway, before we go any further, Sardoc has given us a £2 super chat. Says, "Call me Bubbles, darling. Everybody does." Right, because the monkey. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Legend. But the other reason I tend to forgive this a bit more is because it's hilarious.
Right.
Number one, they need to get rid of her. You're sort of thinking, surely Rimmer's not going to get a win. Of course he's not. Number two, she's called Irony. So the way she dies has to be ironic as fuck.
Right.
Number three, what would be the most ironic way to say fuck you to the whole HR health and safety report bullshit than by having her trip over the box of HR forms that Rimmer left there earlier?
Right. Thereby
creating the thing that causes her to die.
Right. Because his whole thing is about, you know, being safe, and he has quite literally
his box
created
of HR forms, his accident report forms, cause an accident.
Right. And it was him who directly sets up something that's a safety violation, and he's concerned about everybody else, and he's the one who's ultimately going to, you know. So it's just it's an elaborate joke.
It was just a DEI hire. It's all right. Yeah. So there you go. So she falls into the airlock, and that would be bad enough.
Right.
At this point, though, it's not her fault anymore, or not even really Rimmer's fault anymore.
Right.
Because they keep telling her, don't press any buttons, don't press any buttons, don't press any buttons. So they do try to save her, you know?
Right.
But, of course, she is always wrong, and so she presses the release and is sucked out into space and presumably dies. At which point, Lister picks up the accident report forms and hands them to Rimmer.
Just hands them right over to Rimmer, because it's like, I think these are yours, sir.
And then he says, have you got a pen? There you go.
And
good episode.
Roll. Yeah.
Solid episode. Guys, just discuss it for a minute while I just go for a quick trip to the loo, and I'll be right back.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like that. That's why I brought that thing up in the last place. I thought that character was really nice, and I thought she could have been really quite funny, like on a few episodes.
Sure, but you know, I mean, the when they had the Joy Squid, you know, with Back to Earth, the constant in these shows is the boys, the fans, and so you can have other elements show up, but
except Kachansky.
But Kachansky was you know, a little bit of a different situation.
Versions of Kachansky are canon.
Right. But
wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't it be awesome if both of them showed up? If they had like a timeline convergent story.
Right, but again, though, the whole thing with Kachansky, that was also another one of these things where you have to deal with the resources that you have at hand, and without Rimmer, they needed to have a way to still have those dynamics, and so that was kind of I believe that would be the whole reason that Kachansky really kind of made the return, you know, and in the first place, so they could still have the established four. But she's such a strong character that when they did actually get to where they could have 5 of them, and they had to set up to you know, kind of elaborate upon that, they did. And then now they're just getting back to the tried and the true, because my reading for these episodes is this is more, you know, when we were talking about the victory laps, this season to me seems kind of more of the victory lap, where they're getting back into what they do and they're doing their groove, but also still it's kind of built on some level of nostalgic goodwill.
Well, it's good that they called this series 10, because this is 10 times more Red Dwarf than Back to Earth.
Indeed, indeed. But yeah, no, I think that you know, she's a nice enough character, seemingly, but I'm not really, you know. I watch Red Dwarf much the same way I watch Mystery Science Theater 3000. I'm not expecting it to be so consistently lore heavy. Like things are, you know, I just want a good time as long as it's providing.
Yeah, I know. I don't expect it to be lore heavy because it's a comedy. So you know, all these things that, you know, they're expected. Like, it's not going to be fucking 100% because it's a fucking comedy.
When it comes to the death of Professor
all of
Irene Edgington, I asked an AI to evaluate the moral conundrum because I didn't know what the answer is myself, and I figured I'll give it a go. While her death is sudden, there are several in-universe and production reasons why it's treated with apathy or dark humor. Her entire identity is irony. That's the number one, first one. Then the
That's what you
anti-savior
said.
role. Although she helps save Dave Lister from a groinal exploder she invented, the crew only succeeds by doing the exact opposite of every instruction she gives, except the last one. And that's only because it's ironic. Rimmer's self-interest, he's the only one who shows grief, but is entirely selfish. He was disappointed that her death robs him of a potential sexual partner. Production realities, the character was a last-minute addition to the script. Originally, the episode was meant to focus on the crew taking a paternal role towards a chimpanzee, but the chimp actor was unavailable. Oh.
What the fuck?
And then it says at the last
I mean,
thing, and
that'll
this
make you go
is how I really feel about it, because there's actually an entire Reddit page about this, called "Attitudes Towards Death in Red Dwarf." It says ultimately the crew has spent 3 million years alone, or at least we can say 20 to 25 years alone in deep space at this point, and has grown desensitized to death, especially when it occurs in such a predictably absurd and ironic manner. So at a certain point, they did start saying things like, Lister will go, well, it's not going to work, is it? It's us. It always goes wrong for us, you know? So they may have just grown that cold and jaded, which would be in keeping with the situation they find themselves in.
Right.
You know? They can't ever get what they really want. In this case would be to fuck a woman. Anyway, there's actually a really interesting page you can find on Reddit, which I don't normally recommend Reddit because Reddit is cancer, but there is a page on r/Red Dwarf called Attitudes Towards Death in Red Dwarf. So there we go. What do you think on the whole? I liked it. I think it's very good. I think it's I think it's quite memorable.
I liked most of the episode. Like I'm still standing by. I didn't like the way they got rid of irony.
Okay, fine.
So
but did you like the episode?
But I overall I liked the episode. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they were probably going to flush the monkey into deep space at the end.
Yeah, I can't imagine they were planning on having a monkey as a reoccurring. You know,
Yeah,
that seems like a lot.
I wonder if that's an unspoken thing, because I think they would have got much more of a backlash if they flushed a monkey into space.
Probably. But there you go. Anyway, whatever. She's done. She's dead. Who cares? Moving on. She's not real anyway. So there's that. Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
Let me just.
Like I was saying, I read these episodes as more of just. I think at this point in time they are knowing. They've been this successful. They've had multiple times the shows come back. They probably existed in some level of syndication already at this point in time. So it's just let's just add more. You know.
Well,
these episodes seem to function a little bit more on
they funded new series because they've been in syndication on Dave and been doing well.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Is this is more about just providing people more of the vibes and just the feel, and you know, so it's not like they're, you know, they're just operating at the highest capacity of their creative capabilities because they have a lot of goodwill. And they're able to just kind of get away with things that aren't so demanding, you know, and they're lucky in that regard, and they can have a little bit more wiggle room than other shows could.
How we doing, chat? We alive? We alive, chat? There's hardly anyone watching at the moment.
Indeed.
Oh, well. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. Okay. Let's continue. Undead, more like. All right. Cool. If you're undead, then that's up to you, I suppose. So we move on then to the next episode, which is episode 5. Dear Dave. episode 5, Dear Dave.
Yeah.
So this is a slice of life episode. It's pretty cool. It's well, let's just get into it. We'll see. Hold on a moment. Oh wait, before we do that, I forgot to share what St. Hugo sent me a little while ago. We'll take a look.
Indeed.
Sorry, I keep having to mute myself to clear my throat. Otherwise,
No
you'd have to
worries,
listen
no worries.
to all the disgusting sounds. One sec. Are we? Oh no, it's in the wrong fucking browser. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Where the hell is this? Sorry, it's taking me a month of Sundays. Okay.
It takes a while to get used to it.
All right. Well, it's just that I'm sick. I'm just because I'm sick. I'm not anywhere near pinnacle performance. All right.
It's Morbin time.
Oh, God, you guys, this better be pretty freaking important. Is the meadow on fire?
You're saying it wrong. It's Nintendo, not Nintendo. I'm gonna be the kink of the pirates.
The kink of the pirates. That voice is accurate as fuck for Luffy, by the way.
You're saying it wrong.
I'm working myself to the bone here. Not but it's very hard for me.
How exactly does Skeletor pierce his lips like that? Purse his lips like that to make an O sound.
I'm gonna be the kink of the Pilates.
Okay.
You're saying it wrong again. What?
No, it's her again. It's Mael covered in blood again.
So serious.
I'm going to be the king of the Pilates.
King of the Pilates?
Would you let me see your
Can do some stretching.
It's really quiet. I'm trying. I can't do anything to make it louder.
You're saying it wrong. It's super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience, yeah?
I'm going to be the king of the pirates.
Hey, you got it right.
Sucks to be old, I guess. Anyway.
Dance with me, the Shin-Chan Boogie. Choco Twister Butt Boogie. That you've never seen. My Shin-Chan Boogie is extreme!
Okay, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate you fucking around with AI there.
And hey, Shin-Chan. Excellent series.
Yeah, all right, let's get into this then. We've got another episode to cover.
Indeed.
We'll see how far I get with this one before I start to feel like I might die. If I can't handle any more after this, we'll wrap it up.
Right.
Okay. And we'll crowbar in the extra one at some other point. All right. Lister is reading JMC magazine. And Crichton walks in. Morning, sir. Oh, I just love the hum of the aircon first thing in the morning. Don't you, sir? Makes you just want to leap out of bed and mop. Morning, Crichton. Oh, something wrong, sir? Something getting you down? Is it that you're the last human being alive with no life, no family, no future, no prospects, no hope? Is it something to do with that, sir? It's something to do with that, Crichton, yeah. Because you're missing the human race again, aren't you? Really missing them today, Crichton. I just can't believe it's all over. I've been looking at some old pictures of them, reminding me of the old days. So this is a crazy scene that this is the scene that I probably have the biggest issue with in the whole series, because the idea that it's news. So like I get what they're doing. It's really funny. You turn the human race being dead into a kind of a breakup for Lister, and it sets up what happens later on with the Dear Dave letter. But at the same time,
I love this scene.
It's also irritatingly facetious because it implies that Lister and Crichton are their perspectives are having to be kind of warped into a position of weird, like coincidental language that they're saying that makes it sound like a breakup rather than what they probably would say. But oh well, you know, it's sort of
slightly contrived.
Yeah, slightly contrived. There you go. But I don't mind it.
But perhaps it's a reference to Series 8 when there are humans around.
I don't know. Anyway, he says, I've just been looking at pictures of them. Look, there's a picture of them going to work. Oh, commuters. There's another one, look. They're all laughing. It says, New Year's. Titan. We were so happy back then, Crate. I had a species. I thought the two of us would be together forever. That's what bothers me. It's that line, it just seems weird. Like, you'd never phrase it that way unless you were doing it in service of a joke.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And Red Dwarf doesn't usually do that kind of thing, but hey, whatever, I guess I'll let it go. Because it is still funny. It says, but Crichton says, well, it may sound ridiculous now, sir, but one day I'm sure you'll meet another species that'll make you just as happy. He says, no, it won't. No species will make me happy like the human race. I'll never find another species like them. They were special. So, sir, all I'm saying is that there are other species out there. And he goes, you never liked the human race, did you? He says, quite honestly, sir, I never thought they were good enough for you. I never thought they were very nice to you, sir. Quite frankly, sir, I thought you could do better. So, what, better than the human race? He goes, it may sound harsh, but you've just got to get them out of your mind and get on with your life.
Now, to what you're saying, though, Will, I don't want to go into too much detail because it'll become apparent by the end of the episode. But I think this is one of those things where they worked backwards from the punchline. And so that's why it probably is a little bit contrived, because there's ultimately, there's a sight gag that we'll see at some point that all this stuff is building towards. And I think that maybe that, and it's just speculation on my part, but I think they kind of worked backwards from, wouldn't it be funny if we saw this and, and then kind of try to build something that could logistically do that, but it ended up being a little bit contrived, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. That is an issue when you start with the punchline.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, anyway. He says, yeah, but everywhere I look, it reminds me of them. He says, a couple of beers later on today, sir, will take your mind right off it. He says, the human race invented beer. So they were brilliant at inventing. They invented sofas and blankets and mops and floors and buckets. I just miss them so much. Yes, a change of scenery, sir. That's what you need. Why don't you get out and stretch your legs? He says, the human race had legs. He says, I just can't get away from them. Everywhere I look, it reminds me of them. Nothing compares to them. And then he gets up, throws a blanket over himself, and walks away singing, nothing compares to them. Except he sings it badly.
Yeah.
He goes, I knew they'd break his heart. Now that is a weird line. Like, that doesn't make sense at all. Like, Crichton was not around when the human race were around for Lister. You know what I mean? It just irritates me, little jokes like that, where it's like, have you forgotten the continuity of your own show and you're just that destined or desperate to crowbar in a punchline that you gotta fuck around with, like, established lore, canon, and contrivance like that?
Yeah,
those are the things that annoy me. You know?
Right. And I think, like I said, I think that this season kind of exists on the concept of nostalgic goodwill.
Yeah,
and to some degree, it is a little bit forced at times, and so
it's a lot forced in this scene. I would say that this is probably the dumbest joke in the whole series.
Right.
But whatever, it's still not a bad joke. It's just that it kind of requires you to do just a little bit extra suspending of your disbelief.
Right.
Because for me, it pulls me out, makes me think, well, that doesn't make sense. They would never say that because they haven't actually been in this situation.
The fandom of the individual is definitely doing a lot of the heavy.
Yeah, a normie watching this wouldn't care, but a fan watching this will be like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But there you go. Anyway, So, yeah, Crichton loses his temper. He says, fly by night, flippity gibbets, the human race. So Lister goes live. What's it all about then? Why are we all here? Why am I here? What's the point of anything? And the vending machine says, I don't know, Dave. And it's a lady vending machine, a particularly friendly and flirty lady vending machine 23, I think. Oh, no, wait, vending machine 23 is the French one.
Yes,
right.
yes.
She says, I don't know, Dave. He says, white coffee, 6 sugars and a caramel crisp bar. She says, white coffee, 6 sugars and a caramel crisp bar coming right up. He says, have you ever thought about it? Not really, no. I'm a vending machine. He says, are you okay? You don't seem your usual self today. Oh, sorry, she says that. He says, asking intelligent questions, being philosophical. He says, how do you know what my usual self is like? She says, I watch you. Whoa, buddy.
All right.
Through the crack in your door. The things you do when you're alone are so funny. And she starts laughing. And he's mortified. He says, I gotta get going. She says, see you next time. And if you want to talk things through about life and stuff, drop by any time. Oh, except Thursday morning. I might be out. Just kidding. Ha 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 ha. I'll be here forever. So that's what she says. She does. Yep. She says forever. So it's creepy. Anyway, Rimmer is flexing and exercising his fingers.
His Morris dancing fingers.
Yeah. He says, oh God, this is ridiculous. Excuse me.
Yep.
Where's the script? I've lost the script. I've lost the fucking script. Hang on a second.
No worries. But yeah, these episodes, like I said, I think these are good episodes, and they all are they're good. Yes, they're quite. I don't want to say
that was a reference to the Smeg Ups, by the way.
Right. I don't want to say that they're flawed. I think they're better than just being flawed. But
these are not flawed episodes.
Right.
It's just the occasional joke that kind of triggers that was a bit desperate.
Right.
In me, that's about it.
But this is like baseline.
Yeah, and the fact is that they were different jokes between you and me. Like there were things that I thought were fine, and I thought were desperate jokes.
Right. Yeah.
I think overall it's some really fucking seriously good Red Dwarf.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is. There's no question. So she says she'll be here forever. Meanwhile, Rimmer is exercising his fingers. He says, Subutio tournaments this weekend, Crichton. Not going out in the quarterfinals 3 years in a row. He's literally flexing his fingers for a Subutio tournament. Do Americans have Subutio, John?
I have no idea what that even is. Other than like something that I heard in this episode. So no, not that I'm aware of.
Subutio is a tabletop football game. Subutio is a tabletop football game, but it's not to be confused with.
No, we don't have that. We have Jesus Christ, I can't even say the name of it now. Foosball.
Yeah, we have that too, but we also have this. So basically, you have a mat, and you basically play football, but you're only allowed to like touch the base of your players. You have to ping them and flick them in the direction of the ball and make them kick the ball. That's why they have rounded bases. It's dodgy. I've never seen it actually work properly, but hey, whatever. Anyway, I own a set somewhere, maybe. And I played it like 3 times and then realised it was naff. So I never played it again.
Yeah, I had a Euro 96 set. I played it once.
Yeah, it's not really that good. It sounds about as crappy as it actually is. It's as crappy as it sounds. But there you go. I guarantee someone in the chat now will be fucking annoyed because we insulted Subutio, but whatever. Groovers is here for $4.99 in dollars. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you. Have a tea on me. I could fucking use a cup of tea right now. I might make one after this. Oh, I was starting to think I might only make it to 2 episodes.
With a hint of lemon and honey.
Yeah, no milk. Can't put milk in if you're going to put lemon in. Fuck that. Have a tea on me. $4.99. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. And cheers for the 5.
Thank you for $5.
Thank you for $5. Yeah, you know what? I think we'll just probably do these two, and then I'll try to find an opportunity to crowbar in the third one when I'm feeling a little bit more alive. Sometime before next week, we'll try to do a last-minute impromptu Red Dwarf revision or whatever review. We'll see how it goes. But today I'm feeling like unbelievable garbage.
No, you're done.
Muscles are hurting, my nerves are hurting, my head is hurting, I'm dizzy, I'm a thick skull. It's fucking awful.
No reason to force it. You don't want to break it, right?
Yeah, I feel like I need to I'm 40 years old now. I can't just push through. I can try, but
it's kind of like what I had said last week. Like, I can try to do this, but my head's like in 1,000 different directions because quite literally the thing that I depend on to stream was not working, and I was like, So
whereas me, it's like every 4 seconds, it's like dink, and I'm like, but I'm trying to read and do voices and stuff.
Yeah, I had a new pain in my knee today, in a different part of my knee. Like I haven't had one before.
Okay,
and I'm like 6 months older than you, so look forward to that.
The same thing happens to me from time to time. I just get random pains. I had it in my wrist for a while, like carpal tunnel, when I'd done nothing to deserve it. But there you go. Yeah, bodies, they don't last forever, unfortunately. Also, I can't see up close anymore. I need reading glasses, which is lame. But oh well. Anyway, before we die of old pathetic age, let's get on with the episode. Indeed. So he says, I'm not going out in the quarterfinals this year, Crichton. I'm just putting the boys through their paces. It is really stupid what he's doing. Like, yeah. It's fucking ludicrous. Says these flabsters don't know what's hit them. An e-post from the JMC onboard computer, sir. They've had significant amount of letters over the years from high-ranking members of the JMC, sir, proposing you to be awarded for the Golden Stripe of Honor for your years of distinguished service. Says, gosh, really? Says they say they've been told you're a modest man who doesn't seek the limelight, for your only concern is performing your duties. Says, I'm lost for words. Such kindness. Crichton says, they say, due to the number of the letters of recommendation, they have absolutely no option but to request that you stop writing them. And then Rima says, oh, bollocking damn and jumbo buggers. Says they go on to say, that's funny, go on, that is really good. Yeah. That's a classic Rima joke, They've received overwhelming consensus in numerous letters about how great you are. Please stop sending them, So there we go. They go on to say, in dealing with this matter, they've looked into your actual service record and have realized that you haven't reported for duty in over 3 million years. But I've been dead for most of that. It says, you are therefore being charged with gross dereliction of duty and you have 24 hours to present your rebuttal. What?
I mean, he's not even a crew member anymore. He's
dead, yeah.
Yeah. He's
I guess the JMC computers are still working.
Right.
Either that, or this letter was posted 3 million years ago.
Right. My take is that this is actually happening in the contemporary timeline of what they've got going on.
Even though it should be impossible because letters will also arrive from 3 million years ago.
Right. But yeah, I do like the joke on the surface level, and that's kind of the thing about this season is things do work if you just kind of let it wash over you a little bit and don't think about it terribly too much. So that's why I keep saying I think that they're hinging a lot of this on the goodwill of the fans to just let it just vibe.
The good what now?
The goodwill of the fans.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. Anyway. Right. Okay. So, he says, if they find you guilty, sir, you'll be demoted to 3rd technician. The same as Lister? There'll be no one but you to obey my orders. What am I going to do? He says, help me. That's an order. He goes, oh, please, sir. Don't order me to help you. You know how much I hate helping you. He says, Crichton. He says, very well, sir. He says, perhaps you could get a note from the Medicomputer explaining you're unfit for duty. Post-traumatic stress or something. I haven't been the same since the crew got wiped out. Need a note. Post-dated. Too unwell to attend myself. Off you go. On my way, sir. In the drive room then. And Lister's here. And Rimmer walks along. Ah, you. Still moping around in your mopey clothes, listening to your mopey music, being all mopey. Says, if you want my opinion, which I don't, it's time you manned up. Listen to some brass band music. Went for a bracing hike through the diesel decks. Says, given the options, I think I'll continue to be suicidal if it's all the same to you. Says, and don't think this pity party's going unnoticed. I've noticed it. And I've written a special report. Says, and let me tell you, Milado. Gotta get it in there. You gotta give him the fucking air horn for Milado. That's classic Rimmer lingo.
Yeah, they really did bring back proper Rimmer for this series.
Oh yeah. Says, he says, I'll tell you, Milado, I pull no punches. So who's going to read this special report? Says, well, me. And maybe others. One day. And they'll read, you are the star of your own mopathon. You can't even be bothered to get yourself a cup of tea anymore. You dunk your biscuits in the fish tank. Big laugh for that. Says, I've seen you. He says, I was watching TV. As long as it's wet and melty, you don't care where you stick it. Yeah. Excuse me.
The other way that I also read what's going on here is in Back to Earth, when they were talking about this theoretical season that didn't happen, but it does within the framework of that story, is that this is on that timeline. That's about the only other way that you can really kind of, make sense of it, and kind of have it, just all right.
You've become really quiet.
Oh no.
I don't know if you're just not really projecting your voice much or something, maybe. But
let me check and double check my.
Oh no, Rhoda, say something.
John
no,
actually sounds normal, and he normally sounds really fucking loud to me.
All right. Okay. Is this any better?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So he says, as long as it's wet and melty, you don't care where you stick it. Of course. Lister says, look, Rimmer, I'm a depressed man. Give me a break. Says, and besides, I'm a careful dunker now. Look left, look right. Mirror, signal, dunk. Says, it's time you stopped feeling sorry for yourself, Listy. Every problem has an answer. Problem, your species is dead. Answer, make some more. Says, now am I going to do that? He says, well, you've got to prepare yourself, haven't you? Like a fighter pilot waiting to scramble. If the perfect woman walked through that door right now, and by perfect, I mean any female with working ovaries, you wouldn't have a clue. He says, perfect woman walked through that door, I'd be ready to scramble. He says, you think that snaky arm round the shoulder trick in dark cinema is still cool? He says, women today would die laughing at that move. He goes, that was my best move. He says, I had a lot of success with that one. He says, women have moved on from that move. He goes, moves don't move on. He says, moves move on. What? Moves move. He goes, right, here's a Jacobean move. He then immediately bows passionately. And then in a voice that almost turns into Kenneth Williams, he says, oh, my lady, thy beauty doth radiate across the earth, like a raging forest fire, consuming everything in its path, and reduces grown men to babbling fools.
Yeah.
He says, do you think that move would work today? Not a chance. Dead move.
Rimmer is high. Yeah, he's 100% on point with
Rimmer's
with
right,
this whole, his logic is
right.
sound in this scene.
Yep. He says, dead move. He says, strumming on a mandolin under the balcony, the cloak across the puddle, dead moves. He says, how do you know all this, Rimmer? You know nothing about women. He says, you know nothing about nothing.
I mean, he is the one who gets the most ass on this show. So.
I know, yeah. But he still says, remember that documentary we watched about breasts? You thought Areolas was a Spanish goalkeeper? He goes, well, what was he then? Italian? He goes, it's not important.
Yeah. Well,
Ariola!
what they're forgetting is he was Nepalese.
Huh? Oh, I get it. No more of them. That could really finish me off.
all day for that one.
That one could finish me off. All right. Anyway, it says, look, you either got it or you ain't, and I've got it. So I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. So then Lister is
These
now
are Rhoda's breast jokes
Yeah.
that he has to offer for the day.
So now Lister is trying to prove that he's still got it. But there aren't any women on board. And this is not explicitly expressed, but this is how I've inferred it. He's trying to prove he's still got a little bit of the riz, you know? So he's going to try and riz up the vending machine a bit. So he says, I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. Then he kicked something or whatever, and he said it's all going down in his report. Rimmer's report is actually more important than it sounds like. Anyway, he goes, oh, thanks, 23. I really needed a lift. She says, no problem, David. He says, how was that soup I made you yesterday? He says, it was pretty delicious, actually. She says, bon. You know, French for good. He says, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really nice. Magnifique. So, this is so stupid.
And here he is.
He goes, so
doing the arm. He's doing the arm.
He's got the arm on her. He's got the hand on her. Yeah, he goes, so you look different. Have you changed something? New facade? And it really suits you. You look shinier. She says, no. Same facade as always. He says, could have sworn it's different. He says, maybe it's the light. Maybe. So it's good, this coffee. And he's obviously getting no interaction from the machine because it's a machine. But he still wants to try. So he keeps the conversation going even as it starts to get just a little bit awkward because you as the viewer have realized what he's doing at this point. So he says, some amazing coffee, this. Great coffee. Amazing coffee. He says, I've always said to the others, you know, if you want a good cup of coffee, go to dispenser 23. She makes the best coffee. The dispenser says, are you eating on me? He goes, what? No. She says, I'm a vending machine. Why are you trying to eat on me? So I'm not trying to hit on you. She goes, you so are. No, I'm not. I'm really not. You just make good coffee, that's all. New facade. You look shinier. That was a move. He goes, it was not a move. She goes, it was so a move. He says, you were putting a move on me. He says, you're getting the wrong end of the stick. It was not a move. Now, please. He says, why are you eating on a dispensing machine? Who does that? Because I'm not. I mean, and then Crichton arrives. Is everything okay, sir? And with the vending machine, you know what he just tried to do? He was eating on me. He was hitting on her. I mean, he goes, of course I wasn't hitting on her. She's a vending machine. Why would I hit on a vending machine? He goes, I'm sure there's been some misunderstanding here. She says, he put his hand on my logo. On the JMC logo.
Right.
Goes, what? When? He goes, look, I was leaning. It was a total accident. Leaning, and you just happened to place your hand exactly on my logo. It's unbelievable. Goes, and Rimmer shows up now, says, this is going to go in the report. He goes, what news of my sabbatical? Well, I'm afraid it's not good, sir. But yeah, there's another line too. Just leaning and glazing, and you happen to just put your hand on my logo. I can't do it properly, but it is fucking classic. The vending machine, literally just fucking not up for any of Lister's bullshit shenanigans.
Right.
That is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Anyway, there we go. Thank you, Sardoc. Mods being the mods. Mods doing great.
Indeed.
There's no reason to draw attention to it, but shout out to Sardoc. He knows why.
Yep. I just did. So there we go. Ninny 9613 says I'm eating. Alyssa. Tifa. Lol. Thank you very much. Help us hit the goal, guys. Appreciate you. It makes a big fucking difference, actually. Especially as I meant to miss a stream yesterday. Because I am sick. You put your hand on my logo, and now I'm sick. I can't stop. It's going to be this all the way through now. All right, but anyway, so I think it's kind of funny, really, that the French slightly more sophisticated drink machine is not having any of it. What's that?
Oh, Boosh is here. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Hello,
Cool.
Boosh.
Oh, Boosh McFadden, right? Yeah. Hello, lad. All right then. This is going to go in the report. What news of my sabbatical? I'm afraid it's not good, sir. The Medicomp said no. It's never liked me. It's happy to give you a note if you have a genuine reason for time off. Otherwise, there's nothing doing. Although I get the impression a charitable donation to the medical fund might not go unnoticed. There's a little bribe. Not a bribe, sir. A donation. A big donation. Where are you going to get major moolah like that? Says Lister. Crichton says, expenditure cuts, sir. From the supplies budget. I've been looking on the ship's inventory for potential savings, and it seems to me, for a ship this size, with this many toilet-active crew members, there's an astonishing amount of toilet paper in the 2,143 restrooms going to waste. You what? It says, toilet paper that never goes into action, never sees the field of battle. Return the toilet paper. Just hang on. Make the majority of the restrooms paper-free. And Lister's not happy at all. He says, I need that paper.
Quite understand. You know, it's not like they got the 3 seashells or anything like that as an option. You know, I mean,
sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. I mean, you know, if Crichton wants to fashion, like, you know, some bidets or something, like, at least that's an alternative. But
I mean,
just
you've got to imagine they've already got them.
You would think.
Yeah. You don't need toilet paper if you have that.
Yeah.
I mean, most toilets here in the Philippines that have the option to install one. We've got one in my ensuite. And, yeah, it's the future, mate. Water. Yeah. Who needs toilet paper?
That's right.
Yeah. I haven't had a roll of toilet paper in my bathroom for like 2 years.
I'm still with Lester on this.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have the option, but yeah, but that's what I'm saying though is, you know, to have no, because yes, there are many bathrooms in the space station, but they're not, you know, you shouldn't be sequestered to one part of the space station. You know, if you don't want to refill
there's
the roll,
no logical reason. For
exactly.
Lister
It's
Lister does not need any toilets outside of, say, the trip between him and the drive room, his bunk and the drive room.
Sorry, Will. Can I talk about what Griffiths has just posted in chat? He says,
"Yeah, I remember the toilet paper crisis of 2019."
Yeah, the toilet paper crisis of 2019-20. Right. Working in a supermarket at the time, there was no toilet paper crisis. Our warehouses
those mania
full of toilet paper, and we were being so rammed by customers that we couldn't get there.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Right. Pause. Phrasing.
Gay.
Out. we couldn't get the stock out. We had literally pallets of toilet paper.
You hear that?
Waiting
Rodo was so
to come
rammed
out.
by customers he couldn't get it out.
Yes.
I mean, you did it to yourself, Rhoda. Well, you and the customers.
Yeah, well, there was plenty. We were just not able. We were not able to put the stock on the shop floor because of the people taking the stock from the shop floor and ramming the tills. Oh,
right. Well, I think unfortunately what we learned from the events of 2019, 2020 era, history as a species is that a lot of us have, there's a lot of people who have maybe at best lukewarm IQs. Not much. Not much better
than the same here. People are running after toilet paper.
All I want you to take away from this is that the toilet paper shortage was a mainstream media myth. It was a lie.
Right. Well, I think ultimately they're doing anything they could to distract from people actually questioning what was going on with the actual state of reality and consumerism.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, it was bullshit. Yeah. It was real here, though. It was definitely real here. Couldn't get any. Couldn't get toilet
Oh,
paper
you couldn't
for
get
love, no
any
money.
where I live, but that's because we couldn't get off the fucking checkouts to put it on the shelves.
Indeed, and Grufus is correct with his most recent statement. I would certainly echo that.
We learned we shouldn't trust Bill Gates then. Now, however, yeah.
Right.
Well, the reality is I never trusted Bill Gates.
No.
I haven't trusted Bill Gates since Windows Vista. So it's been a long time I haven't. In fact, no, probably Windows XP, actually. Maybe even before that. Maybe Windows NT, I think, maybe. Whatever the one was that was between 98 and
Yeah,
XP.
I think at any point in time that people actually learn that he's, if anything, he's just, he's a guy who's fairly good at some degree of gambling. And that's what parlayed a lot of his success. But when you actually learn about any of his history, yeah, he's just a piece of shit with a lot of money.
I'm literally like stood on a till, which is not normally my job, but we were so fucking busy, and people are physically fighting each other over like the last packet of like own brand like budget shop brand toilet paper, and I'm thinking if you guys would fuck off, I could go to house.
If you'd all calm down, we actually have loads of toilet paper.
I could wheel out a Euro pallet of Cashel.
Why didn't you guys just do it after hours?
Oh, we did, and then it going, but that and then it was replaced.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. There was no shortage. There was no shortage. It was just fucking media idiocy.
It was pretty funny that considering a lot of people have bidets here, and a lot of people just shit in holes in the ground here. That is more or less the discrepancy between the populations. Yeah, and some people even shit in an outhouse here and wipe their asses with leaves.
Yeah.
True story. Had to do it once myself on a hike. Desperate for a crap on the way. I got halfway up a mountain. Couldn't get down easily. Treacherous land. Wet, treacherous, rainy land. And on this massive slope, I suddenly needed a shit. I had a fucking panic attack. I swear to God. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just standing here. I don't know what to do. In the end, I went down the hill, took a shit in a hole, used the leaf. Panic attack done. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. That's my quartering moment of the day.
Right.
No shit.
At least you're not women. At least you're not women. At least it's lads talking to lads, you know.
Yeah.
Groofus for $1.99, buddy. Says this money has dead presidents, not dead czars. Yeah, fucking A it does. $1.99. Appreciate you for the $2. And we have reached the quarter-way mark. Now, obviously, I don't have high expectations for a stream on the weekend when I'm knackered and don't have any energy, but thank you very much.
Indeed.
For getting us
Appreciate it
to
nonetheless.
the goal.
Yeah.
Of course, if we do get the goal, I will play the updated Amelia video, which is not yet ready for prime time, but you will get a preview of it in addition to the usual requested boobas. Anyway, there we go. And by the way, just to make it clear, from this point on to the end of time, when I have to play the booba videos, I will be going into members only mode because, you know, there are people out there who might try to use that shit against me. So there we go.
Unfortunately.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, I got tricked by one of them earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Okay, so we're back in the scene now. And 1 second. Oh man, right. Let's get back to the script. Yeah, that's bollocks. All right, goodbye. Sorry, I was just testing whether or not we were being trolled and raided again, and yeah, we are in fact. Yeah, an account that was created today. So that can kiss my ass. No subs, no videos. Yeah, highly sus. Fuck off, Kira. Not interested in your bullshit today, please. Okay. I think I was born yesterday as well. That's fucking ridiculous. Alright, so Lister wants the toilet paper because he has a high fiber and curry and beer diet. By the way, did I play the Maybe I already did, but I couldn't remember if I did or not.
Okay.
So there we
It's
go.
okay.
Sorry, I really am getting a bit spacey here. I'm getting worse by the minute. So, gonna definitely a good call to wrap this one up after this episode. So anyway, they're all deciding here that the best thing they can do is funnel the toilet paper out of the toilets and use the savings to make a donation to the Medicomp so that Rimmer can get out of being audited by the fucking JMC Performance Review Board or whatever it is, because he has not been at work for 3 million years and doesn't want to get demoted down to third technician, which of course would be the same rank as Lister. So, fair point, I suppose. Anyway, so, where's the fucking script gone? There we go. Sorry, guys. Suddenly the cat walks in and says, Buds, I've got a question for you. What's the best way to break bad news? Well, generally speaking, sir, you tell the people to sit down and warn them that you've got bad news. What kind of face you got on? Says, a serious face, sir. Kindly, but serious. Huh. Kindly, but serious, huh? I knew that. Thanks, bud. And then he walks out. Yeah, just walks out and then runs back in again. Buds, you best sit down. I got some bad news. And it's all bollocks, this, by the way. It achieves nothing. It's not even actually bad news. It's just news. But whatever, anyway. The cat says, or everyone says, What is it? What's happened? He goes, is this about me? It's about me, isn't it? That's Rimmer. Crichton says, I'm being replaced again, aren't I, sir? You know, everyone's sitting down. Then you say something like, listen, I got bad news. Oh, that's the cat. He goes, right, so everyone's sitting down. I said, listen, I got bad news, right? That's correct, sir. Okay. Here comes the bad news. Sorry, I just did something absolutely disgusting. Give me a second.
No worries. But yeah, this was
this is mine. That bad news is mine. Oh, this bad news is mine.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just I had some reflux.
Indeed.
Let's just put it like that. I don't want to be any more graphic than that, but
right.
There we go. Anyway, okay, here comes the bad news, but I'm going to do it as charades. And they all say, charades? And Crichton says, he means charades, sir. Which is fucking Brit joke up the ass, man. Yes, the proper pronunciation of the game.
Came to the right turn.
I mean, that is how it's pronounced, so yeah. Anyway, so he decides he's going to do a long fucking game of charades. As each of them try to guess, black hole, we're being sucked into a black hole, chameleonic mutants, brain-eating chameleonic mutants on board, a giant death worm, something's happened to Kachansky, she's got a rogue virus, Rimmer's got a rogue virus, I've got a rogue virus, explosion, zombies. I'm being replaced, aren't I, sir? No one likes me. People have complained about the shape of my head. Strangling a giant death worm. Giant death worm heading straight for us. Crash. Something's crashed. Rimmer heading straight for us. I'm being demoted. A woman. A woman's coming. A woman. Shorter. Small male. Man. They all... They realize that he means male. Male pod. The male pod's arrived. Brilliant, the mail pod's arrived and something's happened to it. It crashed. The mail pod's crashed. It exploded. It exploded into a giant death worm. And Lister has a go at him for saying giant death worms. He says, oh, your clothes were on a washing line and then the mail pod came in and crashed on your clothes. Ah, got it in one. Yes, his clothes were hanging on a line and a mail pod crashed into them. Yeah, how is that bad news? Requiring them to sit down.
I mean... It's the cat's wardrobe. I mean, this is clearly devastating to the cat, even though it's not any matter of consequence. But for him, it's the most important thing. I don't. I think you might be confusing Red Dwarf with Doctor What the Fuck, because I don't believe that it's ever been on Disney's streaming. It does look like perhaps Peacock TV, maybe. To the person who's mentioning in the chat, but yes,
the one I deleted.
Yes.
The one I immediately went to the channel of to see. Also created today. No videos, no subs.
Yes. Try harder. Yeah. But for anybody who is looking, yeah, you can watch Red Dwarf on Roku and possibly Peacock and a few other places.
Yeah. Anywhere that has a lot of British stuff.
Yes.
But there you go. Anyway, let's continue then. So the mail pod has arrived, and that means there are letters. Let's get on with it. There are lots and lots and lots of letters. And
quite a few places.
Yeah, what?
Quite a few places. Amazon, Netflix, yeah. All sorts of places.
You could always tell the streaming services to fuck off and
Amazon.
buy the DVD.
Yeah. I myself, I just pay for VPN and I acquire things.
I just have it on Plex.
Yeah.
And DVD. Yep. Anyway, there we go. Deathworm, 2 words. That's the last one, sirs. We arrive here as the letters arrive in the bunk, and they're saying they must have sifted through 1,000 letters now. And 1 letter from home, that's all I'm asking. Just 1 lousy, stinking letter. Wait, that's Rimmer saying that, sorry. Lister says, look, 50 big ones, says the first letter's mine. And Rimmer says, why is everything a competition with you? He says, why can't we just sit here and sort out the mail like 2 mature adults instead of behaving like 2 schoolboys who have to bet on everything? Grabs a letter. Oh, yes, I've got one. Arnold Rimmer, the man, the myth, the legend. Rimsy, Mr. Popular with a capital P. There's no stopping him. Here he goes. Says, who's it from? And he opens it. Here he goes, yeah. Mr. Popular with a capital P. Who's it from? It's a parking fine. Says, yes. Still good.
Immediate setup and letdown. That's right.
Still a letter. Still something to read addressed to me. 1-0 Rimsey. Says, and, but there you go. Anyway, Lister says, can it be? Oh, but it is. 1-1 the comeback kid. He says, this boy does not know the meaning of the word defeat. There's 1-1. Go on then, who's it from? And it turns out to be from a woman called Hayley Summers. He goes, my God, Hayley Summers? Hayley Summers. Rimmer says, I'm guessing it's from Hayley Summers. He goes, I used to go out with Hayley Summers. Because it's when I was trying to be a rock god. Says, what I lack technically I made up for in loudness. I mean, when I played, people had ringing in their ears. Says, how long for? Says, it didn't go away. Once they had it for good. Literally giving people permanent tinnitus. Okay. All right. Because that's how loud I was. So where did you meet her then? At a gig? He says, she worked in the bank where I had my overdraft. We got talking and bada boom, bada bish, bada ba. And she dumped you, right? No, she didn't dump me actually, Rimmer. She got offered a dream job on Callisto and couldn't turn it down.
I need to interject here slightly. Notice how he said the bank where I had my overdraft.
Yeah, he didn't have his account.
Not where I had my account or anything.
Permanent in overdraft, yeah. Yep. That's how he referred to his bank account. Yeah, I picked up on that too. Mm-hmm. So there we go. Yeah, well spotted. He says, the only girl I ever cared about who didn't dump me, actually. The time we had together was brilliant, man. We'd stay home all day Saturdays with 0G, eat curry in bed. The first person I ever heard say, the real McCoy. That's the real McCoy, she'd say. This is the real McCoy. That curry is the real McCoy. And she squidged up her nose like that when she was telling a story. He goes, no, it was really cute. And Rimmer says, and did you tell your friends about the real McCoy and the squidgy nose thing? And did you find your friends were suddenly emigrating or pretending to be dead? She goes, still smells of her perfume. Look, I don't want to read this. Says, it'll make me miss her more than ever. I miss home more than ever. So Rimmer kindly offers to read it. Dear Dave, I hope you don't mind me writing to you, but I've got a confession. Confession? I bet she was a man. Yes, 2012. 2012 with the trans joke there. Right, what we need.
Alpha Betty Spaghetti!
We now have another clip. We now have another clip that we can combine that with. I bet she was a man. Alpha Betty Spaghetti. You know, I bet she was a man. Says, bastard. Says, well, you said yourself that she liked 0G and curries. I bet you she was a man. Did she have big feet? When you did the foxtrot, did you ever wonder why she was shaving? Said, just tell me the confession. So Rimmer goes, oh, wow. No way. What? Says, I don't know whether to laugh or laugh. Because, Dave, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm pregnant. 7 weeks, according to the doctor. Pregnant? Hang on, my head's on a spin cycle here. Are you saying that I'm 3 million years into deep space and she's pregnant with my baby? Well, not at the same time, Lister. For fuck's sake. Retarded. But there you go. Amazon does have all the episodes streaming, but they're all live. I don't get it. Oh, no. Oh, they're all like, I don't get it. Whatever. Alphabet Spaghetti. Help us fill the bar. So there we go. He says, so wait, are you telling me that I'm 3 million years into deep space and she's pregnant with my baby?
I think what he means is they're not on a VOD. You have to just catch them.
Oh, right. Yeah. You have to fuck Amazon, man. That's so lame when they do that. Yeah. So anyway, everything should be VOD. There should be no streaming of anything that's not a VOD ever on any platform for any fucking reason. What do you want to be? Terrestrial TV? Because we made that obsolete. By keeping scheduled programming, you are keeping alive a dead format. Fucking retarded. But there you go. Anyway, so there is a slight joke you could make here about how Lister thinks she's pregnant when obviously it was 3 million years ago, and not only is she dead, but so is the kid. And all the descendants, excuse me.
Right. Well, there is also just the diegesis of the story that we know about Aurorabus. And that this is kind of a moot point, but you know.
Yeah.
It makes for an episode.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. So, hold on a moment. Get out. And there we go. But just as the joke is actually settling, Rimmer gets us a better punchline, which kind of helps you to forget that we're talking about a break in the diegesis potentially. Mm-hmm. So as soon as he says, are you telling me that I'm 3 million years into deep space and she's pregnant with my baby? Rimmer says, well, put it this way. You're in the finals. It's finals? What do you mean? He goes, I mean, who's the other finalist? Who am I playing? He goes, blah, 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 blah. I don't know whether it's yours or Roy's. Thought you should know. He goes, Roy?
Did you say Roy or Royd?
Ah, not Roy. Royd? Ah, not Royd. Watch out, he'll get you. And then he'll drop 5 memberships like a fucking king.
Help me create the future of the white race.
Thank you very much, Rhoda. I really appreciate that, man. I'm sick as fuck today and having trouble summoning the energy, and it really helps.
That night, I needed my my membership re-up, so thank you.
Oh, you got John?
As well.
Yeah. Rhoda tagged John with a membership. Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Good job. Anyway, appreciate you guys. We're only 40% to the goal, but that really helps, so thank you very much. So not Royd. Yes, not Roy. Not Roy. Do you mean she was sleeping with Roy? Who's the dad, me or him? Says she doesn't know. She's going for a DNA test. So she must have written another letter to tell me the result. You got to help me find it. We need to find this letter. Yellow envelope. So then they frantically start searching through the envelopes. And as Lister is carrying a pile of said envelopes down the corridors to see if any of them are from, I want to say Lisa Yates, but it's not. It's Haley Summers. So there we go. But he gets to the vending machine, the first vending machine, not the French vending machine. And he says, hi, 34. Just having a break. Coffee, please. She says, oh, You want something from me now, do you? Says, yeah, coffee. Just don't play dumb, Dave. I heard what happened. Happened? With dispensing machine 23. You didn't think I'd find out, did you? What? All those drinks and chocolate bars you were getting off me, and at the same time you were drinking her drinks and snuffling up her chocolate bars too, weren't you? Weren't you? She was just near her. She's
neurotic.
Yeah, it goes.
She's such a
machines. Neurotic fucking machines are the funniest. Yeah, she's such a trashy looking machine. Is that what you like, Dave? Trashy. He says, "You all look identical." She goes, "Oh." He goes, "Look, can I please just get a coffee?" She says, "I'm out of coffee." He says, "I'll have a tea then." No tea. He says, "Milkshake? Let me just check." "Sorry, no milkshakes either." He goes, "Look, I'll go somewhere else then. You're not the only dispenser on board." She says, she's like, "Oh yeah, you should." He goes, "Yeah, well I will." She goes, "Good." He goes, "Fine." She says, "Suits me." He goes, "Right, I'm off." And then she says, "Not missing you already?" He goes, "Coincidentally, no big deal. But you know your tea, it's a bit watery. And you know when I said that your Mexican red hot chili crisps were really spicy? Well, I was lying. I can't believe you just said that." "Well, I did." And she goes, "Ooh," as he buggers off. Meanwhile, we find Crichton pushing around a huge pile of toilet paper. And now arriving in the drive room. And Crichton says, "How did it go with the Medicomputer?" "Well, I took the donation, sir." "And what did we get?" "A thank you." "Is that it?" "I think it does this all the time, sir. Misleads unsuspecting bribers to get them to give money to the medical fund." "That's outrageous." Oops, I just made the computer beep, sorry. Says, "That's outrageous. Has it got no morals at all?" Says, "It repeated that the only way it could give you an absence from duty note was if you are unwell or you'd taken a sabbatical to care for an unwell member of the crew." "Lister." Says, "Post-traumatic stress, missing the human race, dunking biscuits in the fish tank, totally off the rails." Says, "Well, most of that could be dismissed as eccentricity rather than illness, sir." Says, "If you're going to use Lister in your defense, I fear you need something more." He goes, "1 act of saliva-dripping, mouth-foaming insanity by midnight tonight. Shouldn't be too hard." And he'll get it too.
Oh yeah, his lack of faith in Lister is, well placed.
Oh yeah.
At this point,
I mean,
in time.
it makes
They have
the
kind of
first thing I
regressed.
thought of. The first thing I thought of was like, humping Crichton during polymorph, stuff like that. You get him to do that, and you're golden. And it's ironic that that's the one that I thought of, because that is, of course, close to what happens. So we need 1 act of saliva-dripping, mouth-foaming insanity by midnight. Shouldn't be too hard. Cat walks in, says, "Hey, bud, Alphabet Head told me what happened. Come to check you out. So who is this Roy dude?" He goes, "Used to work with her in the bank. He was always using the finger-wetting machine." That's really funny when he does that. He's always using the finger-wetting machine like that. Ugh. To count the money. Real creep. Says, "Can I give you a bit of advice?" Says, "Don't think about them together. Just move on, right? Keep all those them together thoughts right out of your head." "Yeah, right. All that walking in the park, kissing..." He never knows when to shut up, does he? "Kissing raindrops off her nose stuff. Don't think about any of that. I used to love her nose. She used to squidge it up when she told stories. And don't be tempted to wonder if she squidged up her nose for him in that really cute way she used to squidge up her nose for you. Because the chances are she did." Says, "You reckon?" Says, "And another thing." Says, "Don't start thinking about all those late night shifts she was always doing, because if it was me, I'd be thinking like, hey, bank's gonna close at 5. Yeah, she was always doing late night shifts. So, supervising the delivery of the unstealable pens, or staying behind to help update the bank queue, waiting pole rope, or accidentally locking herself in the vault for the whole weekend. It becomes clear that this chick was a tramp, and Lister was gullible. But there we go. He says she always used to do that.
And adds to his point about the only one never broke up with him. She didn't have to.
Yeah.
You're oblivious to the fact that you were getting fucked on.
Yeah. She was fucking you and she was fucking Roy, buddy.
That's right.
They're trying to fuck on me. There you go. Anyway, he goes, hey, you don't think she was with this Roy guy the whole time? Cat goes, the whole damn time. It never even occurred to me, but the key is... He goes, but the key is, don't think about it. He's just reminded him of all this shit. Typical, like, with the claustrophobia as well.
Yep.
You know?
Wow! You couldn't swing me around here.
Swing me around here if I was dead. Yeah. He says, think of something else. He says, I'm thinking of something else. He says, good. He says, because if you start thinking about all those hours you were sitting at home killing time while she was probably on all fours covered in money while his finger wetting machine was working overtime, it'll drive you crazy. Says,
sounds like
you
she
get
was
a
the
picture
finger
like
wetting
that in
machine.
your head. It's real hard to get rid of. What?
It sounds like she was the finger wetting machine.
Indeed. Says, what are you doing? He says, what do you think I'm doing? I said, I told you not to think about it. He goes, I'm thinking about it now. He goes, that's unbelievable. You've not listened to a word I said. He stomps off. Still nothing, sir. You know, I'm starting to think she never even wrote a second letter. Says, oh, sir, I know this has stirred things up a bit, but I really believe you've got to live in the present. You've got new friends now. And true, they may not be human, and some of them may be annoying, and stupid, and petty, and maybe even insane. But that doesn't mean they're any less precious. Okay, Crichton. All right, that's an interesting point you've just made there. How about you just screw that chair down again for me a second, buddy? Fuck it now. Anyway, and maybe even insane, but that doesn't mean they're any less precious. Oh boy, how we doing? Chat, you all right? All right, chat. Let's hear what you think in the comments.
Well, we have at least, we've woken up to everyone on the West Coast, because we do have a good bit more people here now.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. We'd really appreciate it if we could hit the goal before we wrap up in the next sort of 10, 15 minutes. 60 to go. True, they may not be human, and some of them may be annoying and stupid and petty and maybe even insane, but that doesn't mean they're any less precious. You've got to forget about the past and look after the present. Yeah. So, Lister walks over to vending machine number 34. He says, hi, she says, oh, it's you. He says, this is awkward. She says, this is awkward, rather. He says, look, I'm sorry about before. I just want to know if there's any way I can make it up to you. She says, really? He says, yeah. She says, oh, Dave, I don't know why we fight like this. We're so silly. Oh, God, British women. I'm so glad I don't have one in my life anymore. So what's it to be then? He says, so what's it to be then? New paint job? New nozzle housings? How about a restock? She says, anything? He says, anything. You name it. She says, well, if I could have anything, absolutely anything, I've always wanted to see around the corner. Yeah. By the way, we got a member chat.
Indeed. Yep.
Indeed. Bush McFadden for 2 months says, Will pooped in a mountain. I did
wiped his ass with a leaf.
Not in, but I did poop on a mountain, yes.
That's right.
I have pooped on a mountain during a hike. And
maybe down a mountain. How was the trajectory?
Well, it was kind of in the foothills by the time I made it to a safe spot to drop trowel, you know.
Help me create the future of the white race.
Plus,
I guess technically...
I'd been on the piss the night before, and I wasn't in any fit state to be hiking in the first place. And it wouldn't have so much rolled down the hill as trickled. So.
I suppose technically, too, I lived in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I also lived in the Pacific Northwest, so I guess technically I've probably shat on a mountain.
My granddad's favorite song, my grandfather, he had vascular dementia, and he just reset to things that he would do all the time. Like he'd do the same thing 90 times a day.
Yeah.
And when he didn't know what to do or what to say or where he was or what was going on, he would just start going, in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine. You know, and it was really quite funny because he couldn't remember the lyrics after that, so he used to just make them up.
Yeah. He
As
actually
long as they
lived
rhyme.
on Smith Mountain Lake where they filmed What About Bob?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know that song from Laurel and Hardy's Way Out West.
Yep.
A fucking classic. But yeah, in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. It's actually a good song. I like it. I've always liked it. Probably be stuck in my head for a month now. It used to get stuck in my head all the time. Whenever I saw my granddad, I'd be humming that fucking song for like a week afterwards. But there you go. Anyway. So Lister's like, what? Round there, round the corner. She says, I know it's crazy, but it's always been a wild dream of mine to see round that corner. I've heard stories, but to actually see it myself. And Lister decides, okay, so I'm going to wheel you along. So he's wheeling the vending machine along. She goes, oh, to be actually going. I'm so, isn't this romantic? He goes, well, don't build your hopes up too much. It might not be as great as you think.
right.
He goes, da-da! And then, of course, just more Red Dwarf. You know?
Effectively
goes,
the exact same, same hallway.
Of course. And she goes, oh, it's everything I thought it was and more. Oh, Dave, maybe we could stay here, you and me. I know it's crazy. You don't know the half of it, love. But we could settle down here.
Crazy.
I may be crazy. Yeah. Start a new life. Says, oh, put me back there by the wall. And then,
no.
no.
She's tipped back. Oh no.
Oh no, he's on top of the vending machine. And she says, I knew you'd come around, you naughty boy.
She was making a move.
Yeah, she made the fucking move. Yeah, she was open to it. I knew you'd make a move, you naughty boy. He says, I'll get you up. She goes, oh, Dave, naughty boy. Wow, I have never seen a ceiling. There you go.
Yes.
And so there you go. And Dave is desperately trying to force her up, which of course is now forcing him to hump her quite a bit.
As Rimmer's walking by in the background.
As Rimmer just happens to pass by, perfectly timed. You get just enough shots of him back and forth, the different angles of Lister, just in case you think he's going to get away with it, and then boom, Rimmer walks past. Rimmer stops. Rimmer notices, comes back.
I do love how it actually focuses in once his head, because he's out of focus just walking through, and then as soon as it pops in, perfectly in focus.
At which point he then realizes that his fucking ship has come in, and he goes,
right.
Rimsy. Oh yeah, CCTV, and you hear the noise of the CCTV. It says, there we go. A sabbatical note. Here we come.
It's such a brilliant callback to Polymorph as well.
Yeah.
So, you'll bonk anything, won't you, Lister?
Exactly. That's what I said earlier. The first thing that comes into my mind when he's talking about saliva dripping from foam, mouth foaming insanity is the sex scene between Lister and Crichton as he tries to get the polymorph, which have turned into his boxers, off. And Crichton's trying to help him. It looks like he's shagging him. So there you go. Yeah. So Rimsy, sabbatical note, here we come. Then Crichton arrives, of course. Yeah. What would you like me to do with these, sir? Oh, what did I tell you, sir? I knew you'd find another species to settle down with.
Right. And see, and this is what I was mentioning at the beginning, is that I think that this whole episode was built off of this sight gag. And
for sure,
worked backwards.
How do we get Lister to hump a fucking vending machine? Yeah.
Right, in the corridor, yeah. Because it is a funny premise.
What did I tell you, sir? I knew you'd find another species to settle down with. I'm just trying to pick her up. Says, looks like you're well past that stage to me, sir. Meanwhile, the cat is staggering around with his cheeks together because there's no toilet paper anywhere. He's going, damn toilet paper. There's got to be some here somewhere. Just damn near walk 3 miles. Then he suddenly clocks a few envelopes on the ground and is very happy because he now has toilet paper. He goes, But, of course, what are the chances? They've checked every letter here. There is nothing from Haley Summers. Until the cat rocks up. At which point, Lister realizes he's got the envelope. Says, give it here. He says, I need to wipe. Says, you see what you guys have done to us? This is madness. Madness. And then he picks up Rimmer's Filofax. He goes, that's my special report. He goes, it won't be special in a minute. I've realised now this might be it. This might be the answer to why I feel so empty. I mean, if she had my kids, this means my kids, there's only one, buddy, unless she had twins. But whatever. It says, that means those kids might have had kids. There might be hundreds of generations spawned by me. I might have had a daughter who was a doctor, or a great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson who was a zero-G football star. But no matter what happens to me now, I feel like I've contributed. I am someone. He says, man, I hope it's mine. Because I know, with her as a mother, they would have been the best kids they could possibly be. Because, I mean, she was a wonderful woman. And I'm sure she'd have been an even more wonderful mother.
Simp!
And then he opens the letter. Says, wish me luck. He opens the letter, reads it for a second, and then says, what an absolute slag.
Cut to credits. And, yes.
Yeah, Dave, it wasn't you.
Sorry.
Some other fucking guy.
Right, that's what I mean by simp. Like, clearly, Kat's reasoning was quite expository on the nature of their relationship. You know,
that's simp behavior, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess that's the best he could have done, is that it's his one way to have contributed to something in the universe, besides creating himself. And then just making himself a perpetual loop of a human being.
Right.
But then, at the same time, also having given birth to Jim and Bexley, who both ended up in another universe. So that's it. You know, Lister's legacy is Jim, Bexley, and Dave.
Right.
So there we go. And scene. That's right, guys. What do we think of that one, guys? I like that. I like it. It's a bottleneck. It's not a bottleneck. It's a bottle episode.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's more sitcom than sci-fi.
I have no problems with it. Like I said, like I had the issue of the last episode. Like I thought the way that they dealt with I can't even remember now. What's her face's death now?
Irene.
Irene's death.
Yeah.
Quite
but I thought you were so invested.
Whatever.
Yeah,
just move on.
This episode, I have not got any issues with that. I think it was a solid. I think it was a solid Red Dwarf episode. I think it was fucking cool.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think that it was a product of, we've got a really funny joke that works if we can get to it, but how do we get to it? And so, while funny and good, it is a little bit contrived and convoluted to initially set up, because it is something that isn't just a natural flow like some of their other story arcs have been, but it works because at this point in time it really is more kind of about the characters and just the interplay of the dialogue and everything like that. So I mean, this episode is not trying to do much more than just give you a few good laughs and, you know, a sight gag of Lister humping a vending machine.
Yeah, well, this series overall has tried to go like more back to the basic characters, and I think that's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because and that's the thing, is it does seem like this is a little bit regressive to some of the stuff that had been built up over the years of them doing the show, but not so much in a terrible way that it feels like they've undermined the characters or anything like that. It's just they've kind of like, rather than because I think at this point, you know, I think they're just kind of flying by the seat of their pants of how we cherish every episode that we have possible, because they've now been they've revived the show like 3 or 4 times at this point, you know, in various intervals. So, you know, you just got to do with what you got and make the best of it. And I think that's kind of the way that it exists, and I can appreciate it for that. So I'm not going to judge it harshly as long as it's making me laugh. But like I say, I watch Red Dwarf much the same way I watch Mystery Science Theater 3000, where, you know, I love Tom Servo, I love Crow, you know, there's the only episodes of MST3K that I'm a little bit ambivalent towards are the ones that were done by Netflix, because, you know, Netflix. But yeah, these completely serviceable. I enjoyed it.
Right, fair enough. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed them too. Their standard fare Red Dwarf is great. You know.
Yeah.
And we're doing all right. There we go. Anyway, that's it. So okay, that's the show. I appreciate you guys coming and watching. I'm fucking knackered and sick and badly in need of my bed, and I need to sleep because tomorrow I've got to get up and start looking for a job. So there we go.
We still
if I don't have as much time for YouTube in the coming weeks, then you'll know why. But I'll be able to stream still whenever. Okay.
Yeah, and yet we still managed to do 3 hours of a show today. So, you know, I think that's still quite successful, and hopefully we can find a couple extra minutes somewhere here in the week. I know there's still a day that we're planning on doing some Jackbox games. So maybe what we'll do is a Jackbox
Probably
episode 6 thing.
Probably tomorrow. We owe a Jackbox.
Yeah. So
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we can take care of that. We can take care of them both, I guess. If you're feeling up to it. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, thank you everybody who's been here for this. It's great episodes. I've really enjoyed them. I've really enjoyed Series 10. We've got one more to do, of course. And we'll get to that as and when the opportunity appears for me to get it and do it. But in the meantime, let's do some outros. Rhoda, what's going on with you?
Quite a bit, really. Yeah, ever since the collab with Jay, my channel's been on the up, and yeah, had him on as a guest, and then the next episode we had you on as a guest, and
yeah,
that all went down really well. I'm up to 300 subs now, so and that happened during this show.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, everything's going in the right direction. We've got a Tomb Raider stream with me and Sardoc starting in just under 2 hours time.
All right.
Because you know that's what we do. We raid tombs. That's what we're about on my channel. We go and raid tombs. So, yeah. And yeah, as always, there's some more music videos in the working, and yeah, kind of trying to find my feet, but kind of finding them quite quickly. And everyone's been fucking fantastic, and I love you all. Be good, and if you can't be good, be careful.
There you go. All right, John.
You know, standard fare. As far as I'm aware, Toasty and I will be doing a stream tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, unless she gets called in for some more simcast duty, which I'm all for. If we end up, you know, as I've said, if it ends up being a thing where she ends up doing that like every other week or whatever, I think that'll be for the best. But you can always find me with Toasty throughout the week, Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, I'm here with you guys at starting bright and early, 10 a.m. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays as well. And then, of course, do the Weekend Culture on Honey Badger Arcade's channel at 11 a.m. Eastern on Saturday mornings. Of course, with that said, I do want to thank everybody, you know, quality audience who is here to hang out with us today, because, you know, you always show up. People from the beginning and everybody that filtered in as we went along. Much appreciation, and very grateful for your time and donations and shares and likes and all the things that you do. And of course, always a pleasure hanging out with you guys any day of the week. But with that said, you know, Will needs to get some rest. So you know, y'all have a wonderful week going forward. Safe travels ahead. Be awesome as always.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you for all being here and hoping you enjoyed the show. Thank you very much to St. Hugo, Sardoc, Geek Lectica, Sardoc again, Grufus again, and RadART. Legends. Appreciate you guys. That was really helpful. Got us up to 40% of the goal. So appreciate you. And yeah, obviously no boobers today, but whatever. And I'll be back tomorrow with Hyperdrive time. And we'll be going over the history of Xbox and trying to find the real moments that led to the fucking implosion. That there's much deserved. And I'll be enjoying that because I've never liked Xbox much. And I have a quite comprehensive investigation done into it. But I don't know. I'm just going to take a look at it, take a look at the whole fucking history of the last 24 years of whatever it is of Xbox, and how the fuck they managed to screw up so colossally that they lost both their bosses and have now a brand that no one even cares about.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. My initial speculation
from the start because they were so fucking conceited. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you ever got your hands on an original Xbox.
Not to own, but certainly to play. Yeah.
A little leaflet in it saying, "Congratulations on your purchase of your superior games console."
Well, to be fair, the original Xbox, I would say, was actually the Sega Dreamcast. It ran on Windows CE, and it was effectively the spiritual successor because Sega, and that would probably be the actual issue if you wanted to get down to at least just on my thought on it. Microsoft's heart was never really in this as something that they were really driven by. It was always about what we're seeing now of how do we infiltrate, the game console market to make it more of just a place for Microsoft to pull its bullshit. And and the stuff in the last couple of days was clearly directed from a top-down thing, even beyond Phil Spector's capabilities. Because just 6 months ago, he said he was going to make sure that he was going to stick around.
Yeah, I remember he had that interview with Destin Legary. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, the fact that him and her, Sarah, even though I'm no big fan of Sarah Bond, are both gone within the same 24-hour period. Yeah, that's pretty damning evidence that
bit conspicuous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you're Atreus, in which case his grand conspiracy theory is they were banging. That's literally it. That's literally we were like Atreus had a theory as to why Phil Spencer left, and then Sarah Bond left immediately afterwards, and that theory is he was banging her.
I mean that kind of theory.
It's Atreus.
That's Atreus. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, like I'm just considering the source. I'm like, all right, well, I guess that's a theory, but
everything's about sex, apparently. When you're black,
that kind of theory and that kind of situation does normally prove to be true. So we probably
I know. We were just all roasting him at the time for that, basically. But there we go. All right, guys.
I think you'll be proved right.
All right. Maybe. I don't care, really.
Yeah.
No, me no.
What the fuck? Oh, Pepsi Man, right. Sorry, these Hypnotic has updated the SNH Man and turned the picture into Pepsi Man. All right. Time to go. I appreciate you guys for what you could do today. For me, and I hope you were entertained by what I could do for you. Till next time then, take care, spike your hair, fuck Nintendo, fuck Disney, fuck Microsoft. Question everything, respect the fans, check out the Discord, the link is below. Go to https:// swag of the fans .etsy.com and check out some of the cool designs that me and the missus have been putting together for you guys, and see, maybe you never know, maybe you'd like to buy a t-shirt or a mug or something like that. Also, let me know what you would be interested in seeing there as well, and make requests for designs. You can use the Discord for now. Till everything else then, I will catch you tomorrow. Peace. boys of the fans. We'll be back. Time for the credits, and we're out. Later, guys.
how-tos
Oh, yeah.
and whatnot if you haven't got it
What the
sorted out
fuck?
by then.
I just lost my sound.
Oh,
Yeah, we're back. We're back. It says in broadcast. We somehow came back to hey everyone.
It's still saying live.
Yeah, we are live.
Yeah.
I take my sunglasses off when the credits are rolling. Everybody, hey. Yes, we are still live, Will.
We are very live indeed.
And I cannot hear you now. I don't know. I don't know if Will's. You know what? I'll just do Will the favor right now. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you around. Bye again.